Welcome.
My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. Jacob and I are going to break down the entire Noche UFC fight card. We're going to give you our picks, our predictions, our bets, and our DraftKings plays. But before I do, I have one very simple request.
Here we go.
Two requests. This is not the slide that I thought was next. If you want $50, go to WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up with any one of our betting partners, and I will send you $50 as a thank you. I paid out, I think, like $1,100 yesterday because we had a lot. We had like 6 days of people flooding the links, which is great. If you're getting paid, that means I'm getting paid. WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up with any one of our betting partners using the link. Make a deposit. I send you $50. It's affiliate marketing. They're going to pay me. I'm going to slice off some of that money, and I'm going to give it right back to you.
Fancy
the second request, go watch my fight.
Oh, my God. How long?
Shut up.
How long
Shut up.
did it take to get that thing blinking?
It's just a GIF. I actually pasted it in there, not knowing if it would blink, and it blinked, so it was pretty good. Anyway.
Wow, look at that.
Listen, this video, the other videos get like 10 to 15,000 views. The Fight Foods vlog is a different type of video. We're not breaking down fights, but what we are doing is we're hanging out, we're having some drinks, we're watching the fights, we're live reacting to the fights, following my day leading up until the fights. The reason I'm going to push this one, A, I think this Fight Foods vlog was pretty entertaining, and B, I mean, I got to pay a good amount of money to have it edited. I spent a whole week filming stuff, thinking it up, so give it a watch.
I actually did enjoy seeing you around
video,
your
right?
friends.
It was a good. It was actually a very.
And you were right. Everything is as advertised with your friends. They are all fucking torn out of a magazine.
I said every single
torn out of a magazine.
My description of my friends to Jacob was we're all the same age. We grew up together. I'm like, they are all better looking than me. They all have thicker hair. They
look exactly how they should for their age. Like distinguished. They look all successful, but they still look young, you know. And then we got Big Angie, baby. I will say, what the shot of you in front of your house when you were about to leave, was either at night or in the
my
morning.
hair looked good, man.
Dude. I was like, okay, yeah, it looked like
so
just like a high fade. You couldn't even see that there's nothing on the top. It was incredible. I actually was watching that. You literally look fucking 10 years younger, 15 years younger.
Dude, I would
screenshot that, and I would make that profile picture everywhere.
Enhance. I agree with everything you're saying.
It was incredible. I just had to say it. I was like, holy shit, who is this guy? Well, AI is wild these days. Huh?
Yeah, no, it was just my iPhone with low lighting is really the trick there. But if you go to our page, click on the Fight Foods vlog. We do one for every single pay-per-view, and every time something else is going on. This one was fun. This was entertaining.
And it was just me and Angel in that room for a little bit, and maybe some of those clips made the video.
Yeah, a normal Fight Foods vlog, there's like 6, 7 people, 5, 6 people, 7, something like that, in the room watching fights, reacting, doing all the things. This one, I went on a trip. I came back. My family was visiting. It was just Jakey and I. But watch the Fight Foods vlog. A lot of time, a lot of effort go into that, and I actually am quite proud of it, and I want to do more vlog style content just for the pay-per-views. It's all fight related. Anyway,
I'm vlogging right now. Hey YouTube, this is the video.
Anyway, UFC 293 was pretty successful. The one miss was the safety parlay, and that had Izzy in it. Yeah, the dog's right there.
Hey girl.
And that had Izzy in it. Jacob said, "Hey girl." You want to see the dog? Show Jacob the dog.
Oh, my God. Let's get the puppy in here. Get it in the light.
Yeah, put it in the light.
Look at this little thing. Oh, would you look at that? Oh, my goodness. Would you just look at it? Look at that. Do you see it, Angelo?
It crapped in the house 3 times today.
Do you see it? Just look at that. Oh,
okay.
My goodness.
Anyway. UFC 293, Izzy blew up the safety parlay. My mistake. It is what it is. Outside of that, the rest of the card was pretty successful. I made $16 on my other bet. Jacob made a ton of money. I did not feed him.
Oh, my God. He's back.
He did just pee. Prize Picks hit. Underdog hit. Jacob hit another.
Premium.
And for $10, I'll let you touch it. Luck of the week hit again. And it is it could be anything. Lock of the week hit again, and Lock of the week is not a premium thing. It is 100% free, but I did want to give Jacob his all due respect.
If you guys want to support Lock of the Week, become a premium member. I demonetize those videos. Those videos literally make us $0. And Angelo has begged me to put the Lock of the Week behind the premium paywall, and I have said no. I am a man of the people. So if you want to support it, get something in return, become a premium member. Because I'm telling you right there, every single person in this chat is going to have a $10 parlay on the card Saturday that isn't going to hit, right? $10 to win fucking 10 grand, whatever it is. Save it, use it for premium, sign up. It's going to be worth it. If not, you can just cancel it. But we have thousands of people that think it's worth it, so.
I mean, that was
was good.
Held in that sales pitch.
I know. That was pretty good. Sometimes, you know.
Anyway, UFC 293, Jacob hit his lock of the week. It was Chepe Mariscal. That is 6 of his last 8. But the real highlight here, because as soon as Jacob misses ones, you guys are like, you're a useless loser. Look at your skinny legs, you ginger weirdo. And you guys get real mean. The ROI on Jacob's lock of the week, because it is an underdog every single time, is 62.68%. That's wild. That honestly, that is wild. And you'd be up over 25 units all time. So congratulations to him. And this is just a reminder to become part of the community. And our community, our premium members specifically, put up $72,000 in winnings on one. And it wasn't even a sketchy card. It was a pretty straightforward card, except a lot of people chased too much on Ulberg, thinking that he was going to win by finish. And a lot of people...
He did win by finish.
Knockout. And a lot of people had Izzy. I fell into that trap as well. Luckily, I wasn't overly exposed. The community put up $72,000 in winnings. If you watch my quick picks video, I filmed that Sundays at like literally 7:30 in the morning. And I didn't have $72,000. I had about $20-something thousand. But since then, we had this $4,500 ticket. We had a couple of other massive tickets. We had a $45,000 DraftKings get. And I can't emphasize this enough. There is nobody on this planet with a premium community like ours that are constantly... How many times am I showing $30,000 DraftKings tickets, $50,000 DraftKings tickets, and all that shit? Link Will, you are officially hidden from the channel. You are now commenting into a void. I hope you thought you were funny and it was worth it. Become a premium member. Join these people. It's only $10 a month. You're going to get things like the line movement tracker. This is a tool that's going to give you the opening odds, the current probability, and the line movement for every single fight on every single card. This week for Noche UFC, only one fighter.
Noche!
And it's Kevin Holland. Actually, he didn't even fully flip, but close enough. Went from minus 105 to plus 132. 5 fighters had 20% movement or more. You're going to get the DraftKings Optimizer. More than one of our community members who have won 30, 40, 50 grand have very clearly said, I built this lineup using the Optimizer. And the reason the Optimizer is so good, it's just a calculator, but the reason it's so good is it is preloaded with data that helps that calculator make the right decisions. You're also going to get detailed data, metrics, and analytics, and so much more, including other analysts, other cappers. It's not just me and Amelia Earhart over here with the goggles. You're going to get...
Angelo suda cuando come.
Hold on.
Angelo suda cuando come.
Go ahead.
When is Angelo finishing? How many something Angelo? Anyway, Running Mouth MMA is 3 people. There's 3 of them giving you bets. 3 of them giving you their picks. 3 of them giving you their insight. You're also going to get Artem, who's breaking down PFL, LFA, Bellator, all the regionals, and the Pick Doctor, who has developed an AI that picks fights. All of that for only $10.
Angelo es un desastre descuidado con problemas respiratorios. Angelo es un desastre descuidado con problemas respiratorios.
Okay. And the last thing is we did set up a P.O. box. We just opened some of that mail. We had a couple of shirts sent to us by Riff Raff in the Discord. We appreciate those very, very much. But if you have a business you want to promote, whatever it is, you want to send us something, hate mail, I don't care. Here's the P.O. box. Send us. We will open that up either on live
¿De qué está
streams.
hablando este chico? ¿De qué está hablando este chico?
Would you stop that shit? Either in live streams or in the Fight Foods vlog. All right, Jakey, you got anything to say before we move on with this stupid bullshit you got going on with the translator?
Nope. Looking forward to this lock of the week this week. It's a tough week. What I saw too, and I sent it to you, was the topology for this card is as wide as I've ever seen it. I've never seen so many fights where it's like 95 or 96% picked. It's like 7 of the 11 fights have like 95% confidence in picks, which is pretty wild because I think some of these fights are a little bit closer to what we think. But you do like my hat though, right? You commented on that.
I before we went live, I said it looks like
it?
you're trying to.
You ready?
I said it looks like you're flying an old timey airplane.
Are you ready?
Yes, I'd like to see. Yeah, let's see it.
Yeah, it's just regular hat. You walk around,
You flip
people
it
think,
down, and then you're a villain or some shit.
oh wait, oh, I just went outside. It's sunny out, but I don't want to flip my hat back around, right? I want to be cool with the backwards hat. So you take down the sunglasses, baby, and now you got sunglasses. Still a backwards hat. You're still looking cool. Easy peasy. You know what's funny? Someone put a picture of this in Discord. Somebody was at one of the tennis matches, the US Open, whatever it was, and was wearing this with the shades down. And somebody was like, "Oh my God, look at that hat!" And somebody in Discord found it on Amazon, and I was like, "I'll take 10 of them." Are you buying them?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
What are you doing right now?
Somebody commented that the quality was low, so I just checked, and it's totally fine. So it's that person's internet. Yeah, that's a bizarre hat, Jacob. Where did you get that, and why?
Amazon. What do you mean? Why? It's functional.
But you don't go outside, so is it functional?
Look, you could even do like maybe a little half and half here too.
But blocking you from what sun? The sun that gave you cancer? You went outside twice, got cancer, and haven't been outside since.
Yeah, if cancer jokes are your thing, then I'd love to hear some more.
I got plenty of them. Let's go ahead and break down this card. Noche UFC. It means night. And it is on Mexican Independence Day. So it's basically a UFC Mexico card, but it is at T-Mobile Arena. And I don't know if it's sold out. I'm assuming it's sold out. Very large, passionate fan base there. So should be a really fun, exciting,
I wonder how much those tickets are.
They can't be that much.
500 lower bowl, you think?
Yeah, I'm not sure. 'Cause there is a title fight, but there's only 11 fights on this card. And there's the main event is the only fight that, and the co-main actually, that have some real implications to the division. Are you looking up ticket prices?
Yeah, here we go. Stop up. Remember those commercials? Stop up. Oh, there's a lot available.
But I'll never forget it now.
Oh my God. Oh wait.
But
okay, that's kind of what I thought. You can sit lower level they have some for $350 each, about $250 each. That's lower level. I mean, those are good seats for tour. I mean, that'd be fun to do. That'd be a car to go to. You can go for you and the missus or mister, whatever you want to bring, and $500 for tickets, and that's nothing for Vegas.
I thought you were talking to me specifically. I was like, what are you doing? All right, let's go ahead and break down this card.
I mean, that's why it was funny, Angelo, because I was.
Yeah, that's really funny stuff. Oh, you're the mister in that situation? I would have taken you?
If you're asking if I'm the man in the relationship between us, I would say, yeah, I am the mister.
Okay.
I am Senor Salamander.
Senor Salamander.
Salamanca.
Opening up the Noche UFC fight card, we have Marnic Mann taking on Josefine Knutsson. I have spelled Knutsson correct and Josefine very incorrect on this breakdown.
Josephone.
And that's not even she doesn't even spell it that way. There's an F instead of a PH. But anyway, it is what it is.
He tried. It's okay.
It is what it is. The interesting part about this fight is both of these women are short notice. Josefine stepped up on short notice to save the fight, and then Eisman Lacindo dropped, so Marnic stepped up on short notice to save that fight. So any of the, short notice, UFC jitter, all that stuff, none of that matters. Both of these women are making their debuts. Both of them are here on short notice. Marnic Mann's a pretty well-rounded fighter. This line is wider than when I put these odds on the screen. And actually, very, very quickly, you'll notice the updated graphics. We have the opening odds, the current odds, the odds at the bottom. Those are BetOpenly's odds. We talk about BetOpenly quite a bit. They are peer-to-peer betting. It's not a sports book. It's me betting you, you betting me betting a stranger. It's my money versus your money. It's people's money versus each other. You're not taking money from the house. If you lose, there's another human being that got it. So their odds tend to be tighter and better because they don't bank on you losing. They just want to do sheer volume. So that's what those bottom odds are. In this case, they're not better on the underdog. You'll get better underdog money in a sports book, but certainly favorite-wise, you're going to get a steep discount on that side. And the odds are a bit wide because Marnic Mann right now is what, a plus 500 dog? And the reality is she's pretty well-rounded. She's aggressive. She's got decent striking. She can wrestle. She can grapple. She has no issue just barging forward, getting into a slugfest, and then working in her wrestling on top. She's just going to pound away, hammer away. If you make a scramble, she's going to roll with it. She's going to look for a submission.
Eggs.
She is far more... I was like, what is he saying? Now I get it. She is far more impressive than that lone Contender Series fight where she did lose. She's taking on Josefine Knutsson. She is an accomplished kickboxer outside of MMA. She uses forward pressure, she uses combinations, and she likes to overwhelm her opponents. Her volume is actually pretty impressive, and on her way in, she does a great job just blasting away, and then on the way out, she'll finish all those exchanges with leg kicks. She is a striker. Like, that is her... That's what she's been doing forever, but she can grapple as well. She's mostly looking for cage control, but if she does end up on top, she's got nice pressure. She's coming off that Contender Series win just literally a few weeks ago where she did work in a takedown, but she was fighting a very, very good striker in that fight. I actually picked Marnic in this fight. We talk about all the time. We watch these fights, or we break down these fights. We do the notes before looking at the odds, or at least we try to. I did this before looking at the odds. I had to watch tape. I've never seen these two women before. I was shocked to see how wide these odds were because Marnic is tiny. You're going to see how small she is in a second. But she comes forward. She's aggressive. She's tough. She can grapple. She can do all the things. And while I agree Josefine is a solid striker and is bigger, could probably bully, I picked Marnic not knowing the odds. Then I saw the odds and I was like, well, I must be missing something. So I'm not going to moneyline bet her. What I did do, though, is I have a 3.5 bet on her. I'll explain that after Jacob goes. I got that at plus 180. What do you think?
Oh, my God.
Jakey
Where'd
boy?
you get that idea?
I said it in my quick picks before you knew this card
I'm sure
existed.
you did. Yeah, Josephine should win this fight. She is the better fighter, and she's going to be my pick for this fight. But I understand where you're coming from because when I watch these girls fight, Marnic, first of all, striking, no bueno, so not great, right? Josephine definitely has the striking advantage, but Josephine also, as you mentioned, can have some holes in the grappling. And Marnic turns into a completely different person when she's striking compared to if she gets top position. Now, she's not an overly dominant wrestler, overly dominant grappler, but she is pretty good in those positions. And I've seen fights where Josephine ends up on her back and kind of struggles to get back in those positions. So there is definitely a world where Josephine either gets taken down or loses sweep and is on her back for enough of a couple rounds for Marnic to pull this off. And definitely for one, because Josephine is a girl that is supposed to be this like hot new prospect. I don't see it in the film. I mean, she definitely is a decent striker. She's really tough, can grapple a little bit, but I just don't see the talent there. She definitely isn't a dangerous fighter, right? So it's not like she's going to come through and just steamroll through Marnic. Marnic's going to be around, and I've just seen some deficiencies in her grappling. So I'm going to go with Josephine. But, I mean, this line was minus 500, moved to minus 700. I have no idea who's putting minus 500 money on somebody that's 6-0 UFC debut and has holes in the grappling. So, she's my pick, but fuck, man.
No, the odds were baffling, which is why I was like, all right, I can't moneyline Marnic because I'm missing something here. So, the plus 3.5 bet that I got. What did you just throw in here? What's happening?
She just threw the puppy in there?
Was that the dog?
Just toss that motherfucker.
It was the dog. She didn't. It was the dog's toy. She didn't throw the dog.
That's right. When you said that, I was like, "What the fuck?"
No, it was the dog's toy. Just
yeah, I literally was like, "What the fuck?"
No, it was the dog's toy. Come here. Don't get a dog.
Oh, he shouldn't.
Man. No, he's not. He pooped outside. Don't get a dog. Dogs are a nightmare. I didn't want one. They wanted one, and then now we have one. But look at him. Now he's crying. I'm at work. Dog's crying. Plus 3.5 bet. What that basically means is you're buying points on the judge's scorecard.
Hey,
So
yo.
What?
Yo, somebody said that Mann had the hams out on the gram. So I just went to her gram. I got to switch my pick. So, yeah, so Marnic Mann I think she's going to fucking dominate this fight. I mean, I've seen her striking. I've seen her wrestling. She looks to me like the next Amanda Nunes. And Marnic, I think you easily get this done.
You saw her body on Instagram, and the first thing you thought was Amanda Nunes.
Congrats on that. A fighting style. And I think Amanda's got a banging body. If you want to get down to the nitty-gritty.
The plus 3.5 bet I have basically says if Marnic loses a 29-28 or better, then I get paid. You're buying 3.5 points on the judges' scorecards. Every judge scores the fight. There's 30 points to 10 points to the winner of each individual round. You're buying 3 points, and that's how that math works out. As long as she wins one round on all 3 judges' scorecards, you get paid. So I threw just a little bit at that, but I get it at plus 180, which frankly, I think she can win a round. She can get on top and grapple away, not get finished, and then all of a sudden she wins a round. I win my bet. What do you think of that bet, Jakey?
I don't know. Don't forget about the super chats, though.
I'm going to get to them. So if you want to see that bet and so much more, go to WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. It's only $10 a month. You're going to unlock everything, including full-blown DraftKings analysis. And when I'm looking at these numbers, I'll tell you right now, no way I'm throwing Josefine Knutsson in my DraftKings lineup at $9,500. Marnic Mann she's tough. She's gritty.
Beautiful.
She's not somebody you're just going to go ahead and finish. WeWantPicks.com. It's only $10 a month. Let's talk about those super chats. We have $4.99 from Clyde. Clyde says, keep up the great content. Izzy ruined my parlays this weekend, but always got to remember the hedge. I did not this time. Salamander Squad, Jacob had a wild hedge.
Won $5,000, baby. $100 won $5,000. I put that parlay in Discord a couple. Obviously, it was not a premium thing, so we're not going to act like it was premium. But I did post it in Discord a few times, so hopefully somebody got a little piece of that.
Then we had a $20 super chat from Jonathan Valentine. He said, good job, fellas. I can't wait for the lock of the week.
I think I just made it Marnic Mann. I think here we go. I just changed it, the whole thing. I'm not even going to release a video. There you go.
Thank you very much, Jonathan.
Until we get to Tracy's Instagram.
And I think we're going to get
then we're really going to get off. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Let's move on. This freaking dog, dude. Hey, please, chew something.
Why can't you just let him just hang out? What's he doing?
He's not house trained yet. He's like 8 weeks old.
What do you want me to do right now?
Lay in this bed that's sitting next to me and chew one of his toys.
Why can't you just wander around? That's what they do.
You don't hear him crying? You hear him crying?
Now.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's why it's lay down. Dogs.
Siéntate, por favor.
Next up, at Noche UFC, we have Charlie Campbell stepping up on short notice to replace Natan Levy to take on Alex Reyes.
You really kind of did him dirty, huh? You couldn't look up a picture? Like a fight picture?
There's not a better picture of...
I used a fight picture for my graphics.
Were his arms out?
No. It's just a regular-ass picture. I'll put it on screen right now. Oh.
Yeah, no thank you. Taking on Alex Reyes, who hasn't fought... Oh, my God. Taking on Alex Reyes, who has not fought in the UFC in 6 years because of some pretty large medical concerns. Charlie Campbell, 7-2 overall. He's 4-1 in his last 5. He is stepping up on short notice into his UFC. Yeah, but that was so pixelated. That's the UFC's picture. It was insanely pixelated. I couldn't use that. Like it was wild.
Maybe you should get a better PC because mine rocks and rolls on that thing.
Okay. Taking on Alex Reyes, 13-3 overall, 4-1 in his last 5, and he's returning to the cage, as I mentioned, after 6 years away. Charlie Campbell, he's coming out of that Sarah Longo gym with Aljo Marab and others. He's a technical striker. He likes to pick his shots. He wants to use accuracy instead of just charging forward with just reckless abandon and combinations. He can be a bit hittable, though, because he keeps his hands low, but he does have nice leg kicks, great takedown defense, and he's very busy on top. He's coming off of the or out of that Sarah Longo fight gym. So I mentioned he's got Merab, he's got Aljo, and so he's getting the wrestling looks, he's getting the striking looks from some of the people there. So he's been training at a pretty high level for a good amount of time. He's taking on Alex Reyes. This guy's coming back after almost 6 years away. He did have some major health issues. He's insisted he's totally fine, even though he did just have to back out of a fight a month or two ago. But, things are very, very different. It's hard to say what he's going to look like now. So all I can do is look at what his fights used to be like and assume it'd be similar. He is Dominic Reyes' younger brother. I think, is he older brother or younger brother?
Probably older if he's 36.
Yeah, most likely. But he
looks like an older brother. He's got that older brother energy.
He does. You have a little audio lag if you want to leave and come back. Very unnecessary. Prior to his layoff, though. So let's talk about his fighting style prior to his layoff, because that's all we can go off of. He was a forward pressure guy. He would brawl on the feet, then he would quickly look to grapple. On top, he's going to posture up. He's going to throw big, heavy bombs, and he's going to look for that stoppage. He's been gone for 6 years, as I mentioned. So we can only assume that he is maybe a little bit better version of what he was, or far worse, depending on what logic you subscribe to. This fight has some pretty wild odds. I was hoping, because this was put together on Saturday-ish, Sunday, something like that. I was hoping that we would get Charlie Campbell at some affordable odds, but he minus 400 right off the rip. He's still sitting at minus 400 right now. And it makes sense, because I love Charlie in this spot. His striking is great. His takedown defense is great. He can control this entire fight. He can keep it on his feet if he wants. And Alex has gone way too long without fighting at all. Not regional fighting, didn't leave the UFC, work some competitions, then come back. He just hasn't been fighting at all. He's been gone a very, very long time. He's 36 years old. I think the sport is passing him by. So I'm all over Charlie Campbell here. You're going to see when you do your own research that Chris Duncan laid him out, and there's a million reaction videos because Dana White loved it on the Contender Series. But Chris Duncan is absolutely not a bum, and Charlie Campbell was lighting that dude up in that fight too. So long story long here, I'm all over Charlie Campbell. I think he's a pretty safe bet on this card. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, I like Charlie in this fight as well, because even if it was Alex Reyes of 6 years ago or whatever, I still think that Charlie is good enough to beat that version that I've seen in Alex Reyes. And that's nothing against Alex. He's a well-rounded fighter, decent striker. Obviously got knocked out by Mike Perry with that knee, but, kind of is what it is. But even before his layoff, it's not like he was a bum, right? He got knocked out by Mike Perry, but he was 13-3. So that means he was 13-2 before that. So it's not like he's a bum coming back and then for sure. This guy was a talented guy. And he says that he's been training and with these high-level guys in his camp, and he feels confident about it. So yeah, Charlie Campbell's a play here. He should win because he should be the better striker, even if Alex was who he was, which he's probably not going to be who he was. But this, again, at minus 300, minus 400 for just the unknowns, and Alex wasn't a complete bum before he left, it's like, I did sprinkle, and I got a little bit more specific with it than just trying to chase like a money line. Because if Alex, doesn't show up, I think he's in real trouble, especially early in this fight. If he shows up, it is what it is. But, there's just so many unknowns. He could come back, and we just saw, and it's a little bit different, but we just saw Veronica Hardy come back 3 or 4 years and just absolutely smoke Juliana Miller. And I said in my quick pick video, Charlie Campbell is a much higher level fighter than Juliana Miller, so I don't want to compare the two.
Yeah.
But Veronica did look drastically improved even after the long layoff. So Charlie Campbell's the pick. I think if he gets it done, it's going to be early, and that's how I would play it. I'd stay away from the money line or parlays and stuff. You just never know.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I like Charlie Campbell. I don't love money line.
I love him for DraftKings.
Yeah, I think he wins this fight.
Why is
he
that
most
funny?
likely. I'm laughing at the freaking mutt that we insisted
Shot collar time.
That we insisted on bringing into our lives and it's just
that dog already hates you that much that it can't stand to fucking be in the room with you.
I'm definitely his favorite. He just doesn't want to be in this room.
Get me out of here.
That's why you're
supposed to be crate trained. You just throw it in the crate, throw a towel over the crate. They just go right to sleep. Becomes their little home.
It is crate trained at night.
Yeah, it looks like it. Well, it's night, and it's not in a crate.
It's 8 o'clock, dude. Its bedtime is 10. Anyway.
10?
Yeah.
It's a fucking puppy.
Yeah, its bedtime is 10. He sleeps clean through the night.
Watching fucking Murder, She Wrote.
That's the only thing I'm not going to... the only thing that's been going well.
How do you even stay up till 10?
I barely. I go to bed, honestly, around 9 something. We've been staying up till 10 for that thing. Anyway, I think Charlie Campbell, I think he's honestly safe to parlay, frankly. Dude, I mean, just look at it. Alex Reyes has not fought in 6 years because of major medical issues.
He says he's good to go, and he looks like a trustworthy guy. I mean, he looks like a trustworthy guy. He comes up and he's selling me solar panels. I'm buying them for my whole apartment complex.
Of course he looks trustworthy. Look at the guy. Look at that smile.
I mean, he's a great looking guy. I love his little dimples, too. You give me a man in front of me with some dimples like that.
They brought him out here to lose to Natan Levy. And instead, he got a nasty striker with good takedown defense, which And
Natan Levy's like dying, by the way.
I saw that. He's got a major blood issue.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't remember what the blood issue was, but it was like a big issue with his blood.
Not good.
So, is he dying?
No, he's not dying, but there was they found like blood issues when they did blood work or something like that. But I think he's going to be fine. He's got to figure out what's going on.
Well, so I love Charlie Campbell here. I agree with Jakey Boy. I think he's great in DraftKings at $9,300. I think he probably can win by finish here. I mean, 36 years old is already like, 6 years away is another like preparing for a grappler and then getting a striker is another. I think there's just too many things working against him here. This is a fight where the bet openly odds are spectacular. You're going to get better odds on the favorite side and the underdog side. So that's where you want to throw a bet up there, and somebody's sure to take the other side of it. Again, they're not a sports book. It is peer-to-peer betting, which is why they're available pretty much around the world. If you go to the website, they'll give you the exclusions. It's very few exclusions. But again, it's person versus person. So you put up a bet, it sits on the board, and then you wait for another human being to be like, yeah, that's a good bet. And then they grab that side of it, and whoever wins gets all of the money. Become a premium member at WeWantPicks.com. You'll unlock all of the stats, all of the data, all of the information, the tools, the bets, everything you could ever imagine to help yourself make some money watching these fights. There you go. Settle in.
Well, get to those super chats first.
Let's get to the super chats. I only see one.
There's two. There's actually three. Sorry, there's three. All the way up to Kyle Sullivan. I can just read them if you want.
Okay, yeah, no, I got it here. I paused there. That's when I saw one. Kyle Sullivan, 499 says, thank you for time and picks. Well, thank you, Kyle, for the super chat. $5 from Siggy says, Angelo, long dick in the books with his safety parlay. Sign up for premium, boys. Thank you very much, Siggy. Genuinely appreciated. Then we have 5 from Daniel Covert. It says, I had to read it first because I'm normally a troll.
Hey, Daniel, haven't you had enough roast beef? Jesus.
I became a premium member, and I made enough to take my stripper girlfriend to McDonald's. I might take her to Arby's next week. Join premium now. Thank you very much.
Haven't you had enough roast beef?
Daniel.
Shit.
What are you laughing at now?
I was about to say something fucking real mean. I'm going to text it to you, though, so you can react to it.
This dude Farong is so desperate for attention. He commented this all-you-could-eat buffet thing on like 3 videos. I don't even understand it. I don't get the joke. The desperation, and I'm just giving him the attention now, but I don't... If I got the joke, I appreciate a good roast. I don't get that joke at all. No. Disgusting, Jacob. Next up, at Noche UFC, we have Tracy Cortez taking on Jasmine Jasudavicius. This is a grappler's delight. Tracy Cortez, 10-1 overall, 5-0 in her last 5. And she is riding a nice 9-fight win streak. She's taking on Jasmine Jasudavicius, 9-2 overall, 4-1 in her last 5. She's on a nice 2-fight win streak. Tracy Cortez is a fantastic wrestler. She's a decent grappler. Her last fight was canceled at the weigh-ins. If you remember, there was like some medical issue. I had my theory. I think I've mentioned this theory in the past. I'm not going to do it now. We're well past it. But I certainly had what my thoughts were. But if you remember, she was supposed to fight Amanda. What the hell's what's her name? What's your girl's name?
Actually,
Kibas.
And the
Amanda
funny part
Kibas.
about that was the fact that that fight got canceled led to me meeting Amanda Kibas. So it's weird. It's the butterfly effect. That fight getting canceled led to me meeting my future wife.
So that fight was canceled at weigh-ins. It was a medical issue. She was very clear it was a medical issue. And then now here we are a few months later, and she's back on the card. She is listed as having a positive striking differential. So we know she's a grappler. Know she's going to get the takedowns. We know she's going to work from there, try to get a submission. She has a positive striking differential. I've pointed this out several times before. The fact that she is averaging as many takedowns as she does per fight. The fact that she has the ground control that she has per fight. And it's barely a positive striking differential, tells you that when she is in a striking exchange, things are not going her well. Because when she's on top on the ground, she's doing all the landing and not receiving any of the damage. The reality is she's a good wrestler. She's always looking to get it to the ground. And she's coming off that 29-28 win over Melissa Gatto, where she only had 2 takedowns, but she did land more total strikes and have all the control time. Jasmine Jasudavicius, we love her here. We picked her to absolutely dismantle Miranda Maverick, which she did. She is a wrestler, an actual wrestler. She was wrestling before she started fighting. She likes to come forward. She wants to push her pace. She does strike. She will use her striking to set things up. And most of the time, she'll just stick out a striking match. That's what just happened with Miranda Maverick. She had 1 takedown in that fight, 1 single takedown in that fight, really just showcased her pressure and her striking. She's a very accomplished wrestler. She's got great hips, so she can win the scrambles if you take a bad shot or if she takes a bad shot. And as I mentioned, she's coming off that win over Miranda Maverick where she only needed 1 single takedown. The rest of it was just much better striking and takedown defense. I do like Jasmine here. Obviously, we were all over her in that Maverick fight. We made a bunch of money off of that. And this feels somewhat similar. Tracy's a wrestler with poor striking. Her BJJ is very, very good, but jiu-jitsu only matters if you can get it to the ground. So Jasmine, a genuine wrestler who has been competing in wrestling tournaments long before her MMA career, is going to be able to control where this fight goes. And you could go back. You could look at Natalia Silva beat Jasmine. Natalia Silva took her down a few times. The difference there, though, is Natalia Silva has phenomenal hands. So she had Jasmine worried about her striking, and then she would shoot perfect takedowns. Where Tracy does not have phenomenal hands. I don't think she'll be able to get Jasmine out of sorts and set up the takedowns clean. So we have Tracy, who's going to get increasingly more desperate to get it to the ground. Jasmine, who's got good pressure. Jasmine, who has very good wrestling. I like Jasmine. I got a half a unit money line on her at plus 100. And you can see this line is tightening. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, I understand what Jasmine brings to the fight. Like you said, we love Jasmine for her win over Miranda Maverick. And the reason I picked her over Miranda Maverick was because I felt like she was definitely the better wrestler, but she could outdog a girl like Miranda Maverick. In this fight, I don't think she can outdog a girl like Tracy Cortez. Tracy Cortez was taken down by Melissa Gatto a couple times. Melissa Gatto was on her back, and every single one of those scrambles and exchanges, Tracy Cortez ended up in a top position. She doesn't panic in those type of situations if she gets taken down. Miranda Maverick is a little bit different. When she's on her back, it's almost, I don't want to say she's clueless, but she tends to just stay on her back. Tracy Cortez does not. So even if she gets taken down, I believe she is strong enough and skilled enough to reverse those positions because Jasmine is a really good wrestler, but her takedowns are just okay. Her control to me is just okay, especially against somebody as high level as Tracy Cortez. So I agree that Jasmine probably has a striking advantage. She's definitely going to have the aggression advantage because we've seen Tracy Cortez kind of back up and wait at times, but I think it's her aggression that is her downfall because that was the downfall of Melissa Gatto. Melissa Gatto got comfortable with the striking, got a little bit too aggressive, and Tracy Cortez is so good at timing those double legs off of aggression. And that's what I think happens here. Jasmine's going to push forward with the pressure, have success with the hands, get taken down, and Tracy Cortez on top is very, very good. I mean, not dangerous, but just really good at holding control. That's what she does to people. I think she does it here to Jasmine, and I'm pretty confident in her abilities to do that. So I feel pretty good about it, to be honest with you. We're on opposite sides here, but
we are on
obviously,
opposite sides.
If you're looking at both of us, I think we know who we can trust more.
Do we?
I think so.
The goof with the goofy glasses? Didn't he wear those in Goof Troop?
Goof Troop? A Goofy movie?
Yeah, he's flying the plane. A Goofy movie? Yeah, he's wearing those flying the plane, no?
I don't think he's flying a plane in a Goofy movie. We might be thinking about different things.
Well, certainly Chip and Dale. And you're little like a chipmunk, so we'll call you Chip.
Oh.
So Chip is on the Tracy Cortez side. I am on the Jasmine Jasudavicius side. I think we both put our money where our pick is, correct?
That's right.
Well, if you want to check out Chip's bets, you can become a premium member. It's only $10 a month. WeWantPicks.com. Just click Become a Member at the top. DraftKings-wise, I think this is going to need to be a pick your side kind of fight. $8,200. The numbers Tracy puts up are very impressive. $8,000. The number Jasmine puts up are very impressive. If whoever you think gets their grappling game plan going, that's who should be in your DraftKings lineup because I imagine they'll score very, very well. You're going to have her in yours, Jakey Boombaloots?
I don't know. We'll have to see how it plays out.
All right, then. Let's go to some super chats. Andres Loera, $1.99 from Andres. He says, watch the food vlog, everyone. Angelo and Jacob are number one. Thank you very much. And back to the vlog thing. Like, it's a lot of time and effort for me to film it. And then I pay somebody to edit it. And this person...
And you made your mother and stepfather film it. And
I had my immigrant mother just slaving away.
Had to pay them.
Food.
They made more than me all last month.
Slaving away, and it ended up being it's one of my I liked it. It was an enjoyable.
Don't tell me he brought fuego.
Relax with the accent. Relax.
Oh, you missed a comment that's on that video too. I don't know if you went back and censored some of those comments, but I'll read it real quick.
I thought I deleted it.
Yeah, do you think so? If it's still here, I'm going to read it. Oh, here you go. It's from a day ago from Zoned Up. And it says, and I quote, Angelo, if your mom needs her back blown out, let me know. You want me to delete that, or it's been up for a day? So.
Yeah, delete it. I actually thought I did delete it, but I guess not.
Shit. Zoned Up, if you're in here, let me know. I'll get you the contact information.
We have a $20 super chat from Brian I. If you're in the chat and you haven't dropped a dime for a month of premium, you need to get help with that drug habit. Go panhandle it and change your life. Wow. Brian, not only with the $20 super chat, but he used it to promote premium. Thank you very much, Brian.
You think that was Mr. Ortega or no? Different Brian? Just coincidence.
Probably. Yeah, it's probably a coincidence, but you just never know.
You never know. Because he's trying to trick us. Instead of Brian O, he put Brian, is that I? Okay.
It's a lowercase L or a capital I. I'm assuming capital I. I'm assuming capital I.
He's throwing us off. He's good, that guy.
Well, thank you very much, Brian, whatever your last name is.
And Tracy, I just want to say, too, that not only have I been working on my Portuguese, but I have been working on my Spanish. And this week we have a very special parlay. Tracy, and you're welcome, is the very first leg of this parlay, and it is called the Bonita bet. And Bonita, as you know, Angelo in Spanish means my fucking future wife. And we got a couple of them on it, and Tracy Cortez is one of those two legs. And I put $250 on that to win $900, I think. So we'll get to the other leg later. The Bonita bet, it is trademarked.
There you go. Dude, all of these idiots, I don't know why I've never been a cop.
He used to be a cop. He was a crooked cop.
He was I've never.
You do have cop energy.
I wish I would have. I would love that power. You know, it's funny when we.
Those are the people that should not become cops.
Well, here's a funny. This is so when I moved to Texas 4 years ago, we drove here from Connecticut. My cousin came, not my blood cousin, but we grew up together.
Cousin.
Yeah. So he came for the ride. It was me, him, and the dog.
If you guys wanted to get married, you technically get married.
Sure. We loaded up well, it depends on the state. We loaded up the truck.
You went across the country. You had plenty of opportunities.
We loaded up the truck, drove from Connecticut to here. We stopped in Nashville. We stopped, a few places.
Heard it's great in Nashville.
He's a cop. And what's interesting about him, though, is he's not like, his job is not his identity. Like, he's not, he's very much like, it's a job. And he's
kind of like me.
Like
I'm the salamander, but day-to-day life, you know me, Angelo.
Sure.
When I'm out, I'm just Jacob. Sure.
And he's also very big on, like, don't tell people I'm a fucking... I don't want anybody to know I'm a cop. People always act weird. Don't tell people.
They're going to want help, and I don't want to help.
He's just like, don't tell people. So anyway, we're going. We're
Is
out.
anybody a doctor?
We're going out in Nashville, and then we go out in Dallas after we move here. And there's like lines to get in places. I'm like, give me your fucking badge. He's like, I'm not. I'm like, give me your fucking badge. So then you just walk. I learned this from one of my homicide detective
So you're about
friends.
to admit to impersonating a police officer is what you're about to do. So
him and I would walk up. I would just show the badge, and I'm like, we good without the cover? And they'd be like, you're good. Go ahead. And then because I'm such a genuine, generous guy, 2 random dudes behind us, I didn't know them. I go, they're with us too. And they go, okay. And they
should have tipped
and
the guy too.
I was doing that everywhere. I learned that.
Guarantee you didn't tip that guy.
I learned that from my buddy Monty was a homicide detective in New York, and he took me and Tiffany out.
The incident.
There was an incident. No, he's medically retired. There was an incident. He was chasing somebody and just fucking blew out his shoulder and his knee. Anyway, he took me and Tiffany out on Halloween in New York City, and like Halloween in New York City was the lines were wild.
Oh my God, the women! Tell me about the women.
He literally just walked up, showed the badge, and they let him in because at the end of the day, they're like, okay, you come, and I hopefully can trust you, and you'll. God forbid something happens, you'll keep things in order. So I learned that trick from him. So long story short, if I had a cop, I would definitely be crooked and I would abuse that power. So not a good one for me. Next up, at Noche UFC, we have Edgar Chairez taking on Daniel Lacerda. Edgar Chairez, 10-5 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off the short notice loss to Tatsuro Taira. He's taking on Daniel Lacerda. This guy's 11-5 overall, 1-4 in his
Mexican
last 5.
OT.
Riding a 4-fight UFC skid. But I think this fight's going to be a little closer than a lot of people are when they just look at their records. Because, yes, Edgar Chairez is a very solid fighter. He did make his short notice UFC debut against Tatsuro Taira. He almost shocked the world by beating Tatsuro as a plus 600 underdog. His striking offense is fast. It's in your face. His takedowns are decent. His BJJ is actually very good as well. The only real issue for him is that he is hittable. But he has a good enough chin that it doesn't always matter, right? He's not the type of guy you're just going to pop out and he's out of there. He's going to come forward. He's going to throw long kicks. He's going to box you up, snatch a single leg, look to get it to the ground. He's coming off that loss to Tatsuro Taira, but he did knock him down. He almost snuck in.
His hair looks like all your friends.
Don't get me started on how good their hair is. It's very annoying.
One of them has nice hair and still wore a hat just to throw it in your face.
They both had hats to start the night, and then the other one, so it was them and then their older brother.
If you're at a bar and you see a guy with a hat on, then he rips it off with a full head of hair, it's like, that guy's got confidence, huh? He doesn't even need his hair.
Nothing but, man. They're twins. Did you notice that they're twins?
No.
Yeah, they're twins, and they've got
identical.
Nothing.
They don't look like identical twins.
They're identical twins, but I think as you get older, it separates a little bit.
I think the Olsen twins look exactly the same still.
I don't know, but Tiffany watched that and was like, is that John or is that Mark? And she's known them for 12 years. So, anyway.
Well, they're not identical then.
Anyway, Edgar Chairez, with the beautiful hair, did just lose to Tatsuro Taira, but he did knock him down, and he almost submitted him as well, but he also made a couple of poor fight IQ decisions, taking on Daniel Lacerda. The guy's still looking for his first UFC win. He is 0-4. Style-wise, he is a solid striker. He's got good kicks, good forward pressure. When he gets into the ground, he's got really good control and pressure on top, but his takedowns are not great, so that's not really a guarantee. He's definitely a feast or famine guy. All 11 wins and 5 losses are by stoppage. He's dangerous, and just like a lot of these shoot-a-box guys, he is willing to put himself in harm's way to get the finish, but for him, for some reason, it doesn't always work that way, but he is coming off of that loss to CJ Vergara. You're going to see, he was stopped. Man, the fact that CJ Vergara didn't die in that first round is absolutely wild.
Just fucking.
He had
everyone. That's the first. You mentioned that too. Everyone always made fun of Chelsea Chandler for the way she was fucking running away from Norman Dumont in that fight. But fucking CJ Vergara did like fucking 4 laps, and Daniel said fucking chasing him down, throwing head kicks and shit. It was fucking wild.
It was wild. Like, Daniel had him on ice skates, and it just reminded us all how dangerous he is. And I didn't leave that fight thinking, Daniel sucks, he got finished. I left it being like, Jesus, how the hell did CJ survive that? So Daniel Lacerda is very, very dangerous. I am still going to pick Edgar here. because he is long. I do think he has more ways to win. If he can survive that early onslaught, he can try to make something happen. And we know Daniel has 1 round of cardio. That 1 round is absolutely terrifying, which is why no money. Edgar's going to be the pick. No money on him whatsoever. Fight does not go the distance is absolutely the play, but that's going to be a juice line here as well. What do you think, Jakey Bombalotes?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard not to be a fan of Daniel in my mind. And that's nothing against Edgar. Edgar's a good, tough guy as well. But he's just a fun dude to watch, man. He is wild. He puts himself out there. He tries to get finished, and he has come up short 4 times now in the UFC. And this comes down to, I think they're going to brawl because Daniel, it seems like he always coaxes that brawl out of people, and he's been losing. But as you mentioned, his last fight, you saw how dangerous he can be. I think Daniel baits Edgar in a brawl. Edgar's a very tough, talented guy as well. He has no problem getting in a brawl if you want to brawl. On the ground, he's capable as well. So I think he's going to be confident coming in. He's the favorite. This guy hasn't won a fight in UFC. They're going to brawl, and in a brawl, in those type of fights, I feel like Daniel's just the more dangerous guy, And so it comes down to a car crash. I'm going to take the semi versus the, if Tracy was still here, it'd be the dump truck. You know what I mean? So, Daniel Lacerda, to me, is the more dangerous guy. I think that's what it comes down to in this fight. As simple as that. I respect the toughness of Edgar. If he weathers the storm and then beats Daniel, I'm not going to be surprised because that's how people have been beating Daniel. So, but I'm going with the more dangerous guy here. I like Lacerda in this matchup just for his danger, baby.
I get it. I get the Austin Power reference. $8,700 for Edgar, $7,500 for Daniel. There's an argument to be made that Daniel's a phenomenal underdog, and certainly Edgar should be in your lineup if you think he wins because Daniel gets finished. And $8,700 is somewhat of a discount for almost 3-1 favorite who in all likelihood would win by finish. So I will probably have some Edgar in my cash lineup. Certainly Daniel should be explored in some of your tournaments.
I hate the Brazil versus Mexico matchups. It fucking tears me apart. Fucking tears me apart.
Since when are you this big fan of Mexico?
Excuse me?
Yes, since when?
My life has always been about the red, the white, and the green.
Yeah. The Italian flag's the same thing, just the opposite direction. Green, white, red.
Wow. Does it have a fucking eagle eating a snake in the middle as well?
No.
Pretty sure that's what that is.
Yeah, I don't think that's what that is it?
Oh, fuck yeah.
It is. It's a hawk or something. It's just eating a snake? That's a wild flag. Good for them. Don't wear that after you pick the Brazilian.
Well, we're hitting the heat. We're hitting the heat of the Mexico card now.
We sure are. I do have to pee, so I'm gonna when I turn this over to you, I'm gonna go pee. Next up at Noche UFC, we have Roman Kopylov taking on Josh Fremd. Roman Kopylov, 11-2 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. He's riding a 3-fight knockout win streak. Taking on Josh Fremd, 11-4 overall. 3-2 in his last 5, coming off the decision win over Jamie Pickett. I always say Fremd. I know that. I know it's Fremd. I've been saying Fremd
yeah, I know. I just
No, I just say it wrong. Same with Tafa. I say Justin Tafa. Anyway, Roman Kopylov. This guy's a nasty kickboxer. He's got professional level kickboxing experience. He's going to pick his shots really well. He's not going to get wild, not even going to throw a lot of combinations. But once he settles in, once he gauges the range, then he's going to start to throw in combinations. He did start his UFC career with 2 losses. Since then, he's put together 3 solid wins. But what's important to note about those 2 losses is he was taken down in both of those fights, had no real ability to work back up or answer for that grappling. But we're more than a year away, more than a year removed. He knows everybody's trying to take him down, and he's been knocking people out cold. He's coming off that exciting, very exciting, second-round knockout win over Claudio Ribeiro. Taking on Josh Fremd. Josh Fremd is a grappler. He's got solid athleticism, some sneaky power in his punches, and when he can initiate the grappling, he can do really well. When he can't, He does look a bit lost. He has cardio, he's got speed, he's got power, he's well-rounded enough to make adjustments in the fights. He has no true mixed martial arts background or any specific discipline, but he does seem to be improving quickly, making the adjustments, learning the things that he needs to learn. He is coming off that disappointing performance. Yes, he won, but it was not a great performance over Jamie Pickett. He was 0 for 3 on takedown attempts, and then he got taken down twice, and the whole thing was supposed to be he's going to take down Jamie Pickett and he's going to out-grapple. And that's just not what happened. I think this is Roman all day. When I broke it down on Sunday, I said the minus 275 odds were the best odds on the card. We're now at minus 375. We still have some of the best odds on the card. The fact that Raul Rosas Jr. is a minus 650, the fact that Josefine Knutsson is minus 700, but Roman Kopylov is minus 375 is astonishing. These are the best value you're going to get on the card. I think he absolutely can stop the half-assed takedown attempts, and he should be able to light Josh up on his feet.
Minus 410.
Yeah, it's moving, and it should be moving. It should be that big.
I got it minus 270.
There you go. And we're going to – this would be a very shocking upset. But, these are the type of fights that just tend to go a weird way every now and then. We have seen Roman lose. We have seen him not have an answer for the grappling. But Josh Fremd's grappling should not be good enough to get Roman down and keep him down. Roman should be able to do whatever he wants to do. Roman's the pick. I think he's safe to parlay. As I mentioned, best value on the card. I got to pee, Jacob. You do your thing. Respectful.
I'm going to pee. Are you really going to go pee?
Yes.
I literally was about to go pee. Hold on.
Can
I go?
I'll hold. Yeah, I'll hold down the fort.
No, go ahead.
Pee.
No, go ahead. Because you already did your breakdown, right? No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. He called my bluff. I mean, I didn't think he was going to do it. He called my bluff. Yeah, listen. Roman should win this fight. I mean, I don't have any questions in my mind. Obviously, Fremd is a big guy. Could be boring holding Roman against the cage with his aggression, with the big frame. But I don't think Roman's going to put up with that shit. I mean, I think he's the way better striker in this matchup. He should be able to withstand the grappling, and I mean, he's going to fuck Josh Fremd up, in my mind. Josh Fremd, to me, is not a UFC caliber guy at this point. If he leaves, come back, he's only 29 years old, get some more experience, and then come back. But he's just not a good enough wrestler, not a good enough grappler in my mind. And I think he's definitely a liability on the feet versus anyone, but especially against a guy like Roman Kopylov. Did you really go pee?
I did. I sprinted.
That was fast, and now your audio seems like it's lagging. I don't know if it's doing on YouTube though.
Yeah, that's what happens when my headphones do that. I'll come back on real quick. But do you like Roman for your DraftKings play while I leave and come back?
Listen, we got to talk about Tracy Cortez because
no, you're not doing that.
That was quick,
this.
Huh?
Hold on, I'm fixing this. Shit. Everything's back to normal. It's so annoying that it does that. Anyway, I peed very, very quickly. I literally ran.
That was that was not healthy in my mind.
I ran, I peed, and that was it. I didn't wash my hands. I did not wash my hands, if anybody was curious about that. What the hell was I saying? Oh, DraftKings, $9,100. I think he's a safe play. I think he probably wins by stoppage. And, you agree, I assume.
I don't know. I don't really listen.
Okay. If you want to unlock all the picks, all the bets, the DraftKings plays, the optimizer, everything you could ever imagine under the sun, it is only $10 a month. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. Next
what was that?
What'd I do?
Did you hear that? You your chest did like a gargle or something, or your stomach or something. Yeah, I swear to God. I swear to God. The second you stopped talking, your stomach went like.
The dog is in here.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, thank God he got that puppy. No, it's just a dog. He's farting all over the place.
It wasn't a fart noise.
No, I'm saying because you have the dog, you can blame other things on the.
Okay, sure.
Try to keep up.
Okay. Next up at Noche UFC, we have Lupita Godinez taking on Elise Reed. Lupita Godinez, 10-3 overall, 4-1 in her last 5. She is riding a 2-fight win streak. She's taking on Elise Reed, 7-3 overall, 3-2 in her last 5. She's coming off that underdog win over Jinyu Fry, where a lot of people think that was kind of a gift decision. Lupita Godinez is big. Well, relatively speaking, a big, strong wrestler. She's got solid striking, clean boxing, nice setups to the wrestling, nice setups to the striking, and she's big for this weight class, or at least she's like powerful for this weight class and uses that size,
Strong.
Likes to bully, and she likes to execute that bully game plan. She's got all the talent. She can genuinely beat 90% of this division if she fights to her abilities, but she's a little unreliable. That razor-thin win over Cynthia Calvillo was one of the most frustrating things I've ever seen. The loss to Angela Hill is really when it all started to be like, yeah, you can't trust her ever again. But she's got all the talent, and it's hard to ignore that when she's fighting certain people. She is fighting Elise Reed. Lupi's going to be the more talented fighter in this matchup. But Elise Reed is a busy striker. She sets a really nice pace. She's got actual surprising power for this weight class. She's got decent grappling, very good cardio as well. And like Lupi, her performances are a little hot and cold. She has some like really nice upsets and solid wins like over Corey McKenna and Melissa Martinez, where she had a knockdown, a couple of takedowns, most recently Jinyu Fry, but then she got dismantled by Sam Hughes. Loma Lukbumi beat her, but Elise showed us how incredibly tough she is in that fight. She took quite the beating. This should be Lupi all day. She is minus 400. At one point, she was minus 450. So it opened at 400. It went up. It came back down. It's still very high. Minus 400 is still pretty significant odds here. But the problem is, I do think Lupi's going to win this fight. I don't see how she doesn't win this fight. But again, the problem is you can't trust her. You can't trust her. These odds are wild to trust her. I'm still going to do a couple of little things with her because it's a Mexico card. She's training with the champ. She should be able to do all of those things, but God damn it, has Lupita Godinez proven time and time again that she's not a good bet, and we're all going to continue to bet her. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Lupi. This is a direct message to Lupi. No one else. Lupi. For the love of God, please, fucking just wrestle. Please just fucking wrestle. Because if you wrestle this girl, you might even get a first round finish. You want a free $50,000, Lupi? Just wrestle. Performance of the night. Maybe, and then it's not gonna be fight of the night because you're gonna fucking dominate. If Lupi told us before the fight, I'm going in with a wrestling game plan, the odds for this fight should be minus fucking 2,000. That's how much of an advantage she has on the ground and how much of an advantage she's going to have on the ground versus most girls in this division. We've seen her dominate fights with her wrestling, but she just doesn't do it. She is losing fights, losing striking exchanges, and then is barely winning fights. And afterwards, like, oh, well, that was fun. We had a good time. Not even disappointed in her performances. It's absolutely insane. Lupi, please just wrestle because I'm trusting you one more time. Every time with the Lupi fight, I say this is the last time, and she lets me down, and for whatever reason, maybe it's the love for Latinas, and maybe I can't get away. I didn't even add her to my Bonita parlay or my Bonita bet because she's been pissing me off so much lately. My hope is, and this is my twofold hope. My hope is that her camp change to the camp with Alexa Grasso and Diego and Aldana and all those people. I don't know if Moreno's there or not, but all those people. My hope is she has been wrestling the fucking shit out of Alexa Grasso, which in turn will make her a better wrestler, ready to wrestle, and Alexa Grasso ready to defend takedowns and all that wrestling too, because Lupi is a better wrestler than Valentina Shevchenko. So I think there's a twofold there. I hope she's been wrestling the shit out of Alexa. If she comes in a wrestle, she should dominate. If she stands and tries to bang with Elise Reed is more than capable of hurting her, fucking her up, and winning this fight. So the path to victory is very easy, Lupi. I promise you. I promise you. You get this girl on her back, laying some elbows, and you're going to fuck her up. But Lupi loves that right hand. She loves it. She throws it.
I hear. I mean, I think we're aligned here. We completely agree. She's the better fighter. She should win this fight. Very clear path, but she has let us down in the past. So super hard to trust her. I do already have a bet with her. If you want to see that,
I've got a couple.
Become a premium member. But that's why I said, like, we're just gonna keep doing it, even though she has shown us multiple times you can't trust me with your money.
I love being punished, Loopy.
I will say the $9,400 in DraftKings is a little hard to swallow because she doesn't wrestle when she should. So like that Cynthia Calvillo fight, I'll go look and see what a massive price tag she had on that and the takedowns that she didn't shoot on that. Yes, she won, but she didn't cover her salary. So I'm probably not going to have her in DraftKings for that reason.
If anyone is interested in seeing the largest male erection in human history, Saturday on the live stream, if this fight starts and within the first 10 fucking seconds she shoots a blast double and puts Elise Reed on her ass, this desk is going to be fucking destroyed. It's going to be like the whole thing's just going to fucking explode from this massive fucking erection that I will get seeing her wrestle in the first 10 seconds.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not even fucking joking around.
Prove it. It's just funny. It's just erection.
It's not. It's literally not even a joke.
Do you trust her with $9,400 in DraftKings?
I'm a truster. I'm gonna fucking. I'm doing it again, man. I literally say it every time she fights. I'm not doing it again. But she is so good. We both know how good she. That's what's so frustrating. We know how good she can be. We know how dominant she can be. It's crazy. I understand. Like sometimes you're winning fights too boring and stuff like that. So then you go to your striking. But fucking, let's change some wins together. I was saying Loopy could be a champion. Now look at her. Prelims of the Mexico card. She should be fucking headlining this card.
Of the Mexico card, not in Mexico.
She literally should be the fucking co-main at this point in her career. If she fucking would just fight the way she should.
It's the Wish Mexico card. Let's do like a Mexican. It's a theme. It's a Mexican themed card. Oh, let's do a Mexico card. We'll do it here in Vegas though. But we'll throw
and
some
we'll get Jack Della Maddalena and Kevin Holland as the co-main.
We're gonna get a black guy from America, a crooked nose Australian, and
we'll throw some sombreros on them, and we'll get them out there.
But what's his name? Kevin Holland has a taco truck. So actually, if he's at least out there pushing the dream. Well, WeWantPicks.com, unlock all the picks, all the bets, and everything you could ever want, including, it's not just the picks. If you go to my page, you're going to see each fight, who my pick is, the round line lean for that fight, and my confidence in that pick. So, blunt magic. Are you going to get anything with high confidence?
And my confidence on mine, too.
So, become a premium member. You're every single fight. And not just ours.
Loopy's high confidence for me.
Yeah, she's high confidence for me too. I just said I bet on her. But you can't trust her. But there are 5 people putting picks and confidence levels for every single fight on every single UFC card behind the paywall. Me, Jakey Boy, Artem, more than 5 people.
By the way, Artem, his fight companion, I was watching it. His mullet is looking pretty nice.
Good for him. Good for him. I'm doing like a reverse mullet thing. No. It's still a mullet. I'm taking the short in the front very seriously.
Business in the front is like,
I'm taking the
you're
short
a swimmer.
Incredibly seriously.
Did you get that?
Swimmer in the front.
There you go.
Dirt bike rider.
They took it. There's the little tizzy there.
It's not. Listen, it's not.
Whoa!
Settle down. Jesus Christ.
Whoa!
I'm a hatless.
Comb over going on. That was some long ass hair.
It's head. I'm a hatless in 90% of the vlog. Relax. Everybody needs to settle down. Jesus Christ. Watch the vlog. Next up, at Noche.
Hold on, before you, because I don't want him seeing this, but I just remembered a comment that I saw in Discord. I just now made the connection. It might have been in the chat earlier today. They said Fernando's got a neck of an alpaca. And I didn't know. I just saw the comment, and then you switched over to the slide, and I'm like, holy shit. Oh, man. He's got 2 Adam's apples. What's going on? Holy fuck. He's still a good-looking guy, though. Holy Holy shit. And Garam, you're not fooling anyone, Kyle Nelson. Fuck, we know that's you, Garam.
An alpaca. Holy shit. All right. When I click it, when I cut it up and tweet it, I will not have the beginning. Making fun of how somebody looks is a whole different world.
It wasn't me. I didn't say it. I was just repeating it. Don't kill the messenger.
Next up at Noche UFC, we have Fernando Padilla taking on Kyle Nelson. Fernando Padilla is 15-4. I thought the dog was dead. He was just not moving. Fernando Padilla, 15-4 overall, 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that knockout win over Julian Erosa in his UFC debut. Taking on Kyle Nelson, 14-5 overall, 2-1 in his last 5. He's coming off the decision win over Blake Builder. This should be an interesting fight. We have another interesting odds kind of breakdown here because Fernando Padilla, long-rangey guy, but he does fight in the pocket. He wants to keep fights 30. He's an aggressive striker. He plots forward, and he's got that inside-the-pocket type boxing. He's then going to work in some clinch where he's going to fire up some knees. And, you know, if you get it to the ground, he's going to use his length to wrap you up and work in various submissions. He likes to come forward. He wants to take risks. No wrestling whatsoever. So if he does want to get to the ground where he can be dangerous, he's going to have to nerd it up, pull guard, do whatever he's got to do because shooting a double isn't going to happen for him. He's coming off that win over Julian Erosa where he did win by stoppage, but could have been a little bit early. But even if you think it was early.
It was a terror. I watched that Sunday. That was fucking. And Dominic Cruz was commentating. He's like, oh, he's going to be pissed about that. Let me tell you, he's going to be pissed about that.
Meaning awful. Julian Erosa is?
Yeah, because that was because Dominic Cruz's big thing with when he lost that fight
Cheeto?
Was with
Henry
Keith Peterson. He's like, he smelled like cigarettes and booze.
Yeah.
I wasn't out.
So even, it was probably a short, early stoppage, but even if you remove that from the equation.
He still fucked him up.
He did, and he showed us just how accurate his striking is. His striking is spectacular. He's taking on Kyle Nelson, a solid striker, very real power in his hands. He's been in the UFC since 2018, but he just got his second win, and it brings his overall record to 2-4-1 in the UFC. Solid takedown defense, does a really good job using your shots. You shoot a takedown, he's going to stuff it, he's going to scramble, he'll end up on top. He does a great job making fights ugly, and then he's going to win with toughness. He's coming off that win over Blake Builder, where his pressure and takedown defense were actually the difference, and this is an interesting fight. I like Fernando, medium confidence pick, because he does a great job. He's going to stay in your face. He's going to make the fight ugly. Kyle wants to get in Fernando's face, make the fight ugly, and unfortunately for him, that's exactly how Fernando wants to fight. So he wants to be in the pocket, and I think he's going to get his wish. I think Fernando's accuracy, the clinch work is going to be too much. It's going to be the difference here. I like Fernando to win. The 241 money line, it already closed a little bit for minus 350. I'm hoping it closes even more. I may actually jump on the bet openly odds at minus 223 because I do think he wins, but I don't want to spend that much money because Kyle Nelson is tough and can play spoiler. What do you think, Cheeky Boy?
Yeah, in my mind, Fernando is the better fighter in this match. When I broke this down, I was very impressed with his boxing, with his precision, with his toughness. But with toughness comes getting hit. And this kid, as tough as he gets hit a ton. When I watch film on him, he stands in the pocket, as you mentioned, but it is not boxing. It is not head weaving. It is just stone cold throwing strikes, but eating him on the way in. And I worry with that strategy against a guy like Kyle Nelson, who is a savvy guy, knows how to kind of extend fights, and once fights get extended, that's when he starts picking up the pace. He did the exact same thing versus Blake Builder. And we learned Blake Builder is a little bit of a fraud. But Blake had some really good success in the first round. Kyle, against an undefeated guy, weathered the storm, turned up the pace, turned up the intensity, and turned that fight around. And I could see him doing the same thing against a guy like Fernando. I have no doubt in my mind that at some point early in this fight, Fernando is going to clip Kyle Nelson a little bit. But I believe that Kyle Nelson is going to survive. And after he survives that, Fernando gets hit a lot. He's going to get worn down. I don't want to say he's like a first round or bust type of guy, but with his style, the way that he gets hit, that style does not translate as you move into the UFC. And Kyle Nelson is an experienced UFC veteran. So Fernando is the better fighter. I understand people are picking him. he gets hit a little bit too much for me. I think Kyle can weather the storm, take over the fight. So surprisingly enough, my pick is going to be Kyle Nelson.
Yeah, he definitely gets hit a ton. So you're going to see the stats here, 11.88 significant strikes landed per minute, 8.91 absorbed per minute. He didn't even fight a full round in the UFC, so they extrapolate those odds out, or those numbers out. So It's definitely inflated, but this is saying, it's basically, it's almost give one to get one. Where Kyle Nelson is also have a negative strike. He does also have a negative strike.
Yeah, he definitely gets beat up. I feel like there's just something about the way that this fight goes. I just feel like he's going to weather that storm. I'm trying to think. Have I been wrong before? I don't think I don't think I've been wrong before. So it seems like Kyle Nelson's a play.
There you go. Are you going to spend the $7,300 on DraftKings since you're convinced he's going to win?
Nope.
Yeah, okay. That's odd.
Nope.
Odd decision. Well, we got Canada versus Mexico. North of the border versus south of the border here. I'm not spending...
I was about to go into a whole Canadian spiel, and then I was like, that's the worst accent. I hate that accent.
it's
Sorry, Canadians. I fucking hate that accent.
I don't. Everybody talks a little differently, and I appreciate that's what makes this world so great.
The Queen's money spends the same as the fucking American dollar. We appreciate the premium members from Canada. Oh, it's the King's money now, I guess. They take her off that shit? I still don't even know why the Queen of England's on fucking Canada's money still.
Oh, we left that dump. We We started our own thing.
Oh, you want to tax us? Hell no. And then what do? Turn around and tax the shit of ourselves. What has this country become, Angelo? Let's get into it.
$8,900 on DraftKings. I'm not going to spend that on Fernando, but I do think he wins this. Right.
Well, sorry. A little politic talk, and you're about down for the count. That's what you do to fall asleep. A little Fox News, lull you to sleep.
Watch Shane Gillis' stand-up. He has a hilarious bit on... He's like, I'm not a Republican, but I'm definitely pre-Republican. And he went into all the things that as he's getting older, he's just starting to lean that way. Dude, his stand-up's, it's a great special. It's an hour.
Wow, you meet the guy one time and now you're fucking idolizing him.
Dude, he was cool. I met him too. It was about 40-second interaction.
I met him too. 40, huh? Yeah. It's not the way you described it to me.
Did I say it was longer or shorter? I made a comment. He made a comment. Took the picture. Peace. Anyway.
Slap on the ass.
WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. It's only $10 a month. You're going to unlock anything you have ever needed to make money watching these fights, including ownership projections, an optimizer, including data, including analysis, write-ups, breakdowns.
Braces.
5, 6, 7 people's worth of picks from 7 different people, and then AI, all the things you could ever want. $10 a month. We have a $20 super chat from Riff Raff. He said, "Hey Jacob, I made a killing on Lock of the Week with Sean O'Malley, and my girl is asking why you haven't worn the shirt yet. Hit the like, everyone, and join premium." Just so context for people who have not watched my vlog.
Oh, hold on a second.
It was mail day. While he's doing that, it was mail day. So we have the P.O. Box. You can mail us stuff. The address is on the website. It's in the description of this video. And Riff Raff sent us 2 shirts. An extra large for me, a boy's medium for Jacob. He mailed those. I wore mine because I support the people. Everybody thinks Jacob's for the people. I'm for the people. I wore the shirt. Jacob has not. Quite embarrassing. What'd you do? I thought you were going to go get the shirt.
I did get the shirt, Angelo.
Okay. It's from Riff Raff. Thank you very much. Wow, the tags are still on it. That's real disrespect, Riff Raff. Real disrespect.
We appreciate that, Riff Raff. I also got these, too. Look at these that just came in for me. Another one. Another one.
There you go.
Undisputed bantamweight champion. We love seeing that. And then look at this one. This one was fucking hard. I'm talking, you better get ready with the lotion. Look at this one.
One of the ugliest people that have ever walked the face of the earth.
That's a good looking dude. What the fuck?
Okay.
That's a good looking dude. Look at the eyes. Look at the cheekbones. He's got the nice smile. You really think that we actually had this conversation? I don't know if you remember this, but I remember it specifically. One of the first times we broke down a fight with Charles Oliveira It had been a couple years ago because he wasn't really anyone at that point. He was just kind of still the up-and-comer. And I was talking about, I was like, damn, that's a good-looking guy. And you were like, that guy's a good-looking guy? I'm like, yeah, that's a good-looking – Charles Oliveira's a good-looking dude.
No, he ain't.
Wow. So disrespectful, to be honest with you. If he's not a good-looking guy, then fuck, man.
I told you I wasn't good-looking. I said, wait till you see the
I was
video
just thinking about
of
myself.
my friends.
I was just thinking about myself.
You're better looking than
Hey,
Charles
this one's
Oliveira.
a front and a back. Look at this. Oh, my God. That's a front and a back.
Dude, that's atrocious. It's
What
the
are you
same
talking
thing
about?
on both sides.
The
Jeez.
same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing on both sides. Stupid fucking dipshit.
It's even worse on the back then. That's an atrocious shirt.
This
That
is
is an
fucking
atrocious-
badass, dude. The undisputed UFC
terrible
bantamweight. Rated out of 10. Everyone in the chat right now. This is a 10 out of 10 right here.
Dude, that's a oh my God, that's a terrible shirt. We gotta move on.
This is hot fire. Ow!
Next up at Noche UFC, we have Daniel Zellhuber taking on a Christos Giagos. Daniel Zellhuber is 13-1 overall. He's 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that decision win over Lando Venata, taking on Christos Giagos, 20-10 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off the knockout over Ricky Glenn. Daniel Zellhuber is an impressive striker. He's long. He's aggressive. He's dynamic. He's incredibly long in his limbs, and that's going to give him power, range. It's going to give him leverage when he's in the grappling exchanges. Despite those long legs, he does have solid takedown defense, and he does a very good job kneeing and striking his way out of exchanges. If he is taken down, he's wrapping his opponents up. He's using that length to threaten with submissions. He's coming off that win over Lando Venata, where he did showcase his technical striking, and he used his length really well. Taking on Christos Giagos. This guy's a grappler. He's proven he's never out of a fight. His grappling is solid. He does have some tricks up his sleeves. His striking can definitely use some work on the technical side of things, but he unquestionably has some big-time power. He's fast, he's unorthodox, and he will just wing those punches. We saw that with that early knockout over Ricky Glenn. This should be a Daniel Zellhuber win, right? He's the more technical guy. He's got fantastic takedown defense. But if you look at his loss, his only loss was to Trey Ogden. If you look at that loss, you'll see that he did defend a ton of takedowns, but he did not get his hands going. If Christos comes forward, and if he's wrestle heavy, if he stays in Daniel's face, he could get Daniel hesitant. It was almost like Daniel was so afraid, I better not get taken down. He was so focused on waiting for a takedown to come in, he didn't let his hands go, and that lost him the fight. If Christos comes in that same way, that exact same thing could happen. I'm still picking Daniel Zellhuber. I think the accuracy and the striking is going to be very, very impressive, but Giagos got a pretty clear path, and I'm not going to bet this fight at all because I'm a little worried about Daniel Zellhuber and what he does with the pressure, and I don't trust Christos enough to spend the money on him, so I'm just going to sit this one out. But Daniel's the pick. He should be the pick, but this could look very much like that Trey Ogden fight. What do you think, Jakey boy? Yeah,
I don't think it's going to look anything like the Trey Ogden fight. This is when we look back on this card, we're going to be like, holy shit, why didn't we place more money on Daniel Zellhuber at this price? Because I just don't feel like Christian Giagos is that guy. You know, he is a talented guy. He's good where he's good, but I don't think he's at the level to where he can excel what he does best against a guy like Daniel. Daniel is a very, very talented kid, very tough. He showed off toughness as well. Good in the pocket, good boxing, has good enough takedown defense in my mind. And it feels like the way these styles match up with the kind of explosion aggression of Christos, because Trey Ogden was not that, and you were 100% right. His constant pressure, Daniel never really got off, but Christian Giagos isn't really constant pressure. It's explosion. I think in those explosions, Daniel is good enough with his boxing and has decent enough power. He's kind of got underrated power to where I think that he can find a finish in this fight. I'm pretty high on Daniel. I went back and forth on this card on like who I think is the best value on the card, who I feel, and obviously we already talked about Roman. I got him at minus 270. Not going to get that anymore, but I still feel like Daniel is really good value in this matchup. I just don't know where Christos is going to take this fight to be able to win 2 rounds, because I don't think he's going to finish a guy like Daniel, and Daniel he's just the better fighter, unfortunately. So I'm pretty feel good about it. And I think, honestly, people want to talk about Jamie Malarkey. By the way, if you haven't watched the fight vlog, I forgot we did that. That was pretty funny. And
Your timing was good.
Yeah, that was perfect. So you can watch the fight vlog and see me on TV. But people say I look like Jamie Malarkey, and some people say Max Crosby, all this stuff. I'm seeing a little bit of Daniel in me.
Yeah, I bet you are.
Why you laugh? I'm serious. I mean, we kind of got the same cheekbones.
He's taller, better looking, darker.
How tall is he?
Doesn't matter. I'm positive he's tall. Yep, he's tall. He's definitely taller.
No. The hair will make him look taller. But
I said it sarcastically, and then it's like, oh, no, yeah, he definitely is.
I disagree. I think we could be brothers. We're both Latinos.
No, you're not.
Latino. We're both, he's my hermano Latino.
You're the whitest person I know. Just like, you don't have a stitch of any, what nationality do you have in you that could add some color?
First of all, I'm 60% Latin America. I am.
No, you are not. We should do a 23andMe and see what comes out. I can't
just
wait.
A plain sheet. They just send back a plain sheet of paper. You're just fucking white, buddy.
It'd be real. No, you get that 1% black, like Mike. Who did
It would
that?
change my life. Yeah.
Who was it?
Mike
Bare
Perry?
Knuckle. Yeah, Mike Perry's 1% African, and he's just like he leaned into it. Yeah.
That's what people was like when with DDP being the African champion. They're like, no, Mike Perry's gonna be the first African champion or whatever. Fucking so funny.
Absolutely wild. We should do it because you. I mean, everybody's 1% something. So you'll definitely
if I'm more than 5%
ethnicity
Latino in any way,
Yeah.
Holy shit, is my life gonna change?
Yeah, I imagine. That's why it would
Oh my god, I'm never wearing sunscreen again. No, I can handle it. I can handle it.
I got this.
I got this. Trust me, I can handle it.
You're gonna start talking like my
I'm
mother.
gonna be Mackenzie Dern. You just week after week goes by. Yeah, he's good with his jiu-jitsu and Christos his takedowns, but it's down with his jiu-jitsu. Fucking Mackenzie Dern.
That's watch if you don't know what he's referencing, Mackenzie Dern. Watch there's a video on YouTube called "The Evolution of Mackenzie Dern's Accent," and there's just videos of her at 16, just normal. Just she grew up in Rhode Island.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie Dern.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she talked about I black belt jiu-jitsu, and we go to how you say the arena, and
it's wild. It's absolutely wild. Anyway, back to this fight. You're gonna spend the $8,800 on Daniel Zellhuber in DraftKings?
I think so, man. I really like him in this fight. Pretty high on him.
There you go. I'm probably not going to, but I'm not going to disagree. I picked him to win. So my only fear is I watched him lose because he was hesitant. And until I see him get a few more fights past that, it could happen again. WeOwnPicks.com, click become a member.
Please.
Well, this is what's funny about it. So, and obviously, I don't speak Italian. My mom's from Italy. I do not speak Italian. I understand it, but I don't speak it. Even if I spoke it, and the rest of my family, all my cousins, everybody else does, they don't have they didn't grow up in this country and have these ridiculous accents like Mackenzie does. It's absurd. The YouTube video is great. It's literally, I think it's called The Evolution of Mackenzie Dern's
Sono
accent.
così grasso.
What is this?
Sono così grasso.
I
Sono così grasso.
want Grasso.
No. You want me to do it in English?
Yeah.
I'm so fat.
I was hoping that you'd really rattle that off. That would have been a real enjoyment for me. But
Well, because it was saying Grasso, so I just assumed it was fight related and you were perverted. I just assume everything you do is perverted somehow. Everything.
that's not
Sono
funny.
Johnny Grasso. Okay. Speaking of handsome, next up at Noche UFC, we have Raul Rosas Jr. taking on Terrence Mitchell. Raul Rosas Jr. 7-1 overall, 4-1 in his last 5. He is coming off his first career loss. He's taking on Terrence Mitchell, 14-3 overall, 4-1 in his last 5, coming off that stoppage loss in his UFC debut. Raul Rosas Jr., he's super young. Like the analogy I used in the Quick Picks video is He's barely old enough to go to a titty bar. Kid's 18. He turned 18. He's
21 in Indiana. We went to Louisville a lot. It was 18 and fully nude in Louisville, so that was an experience.
But they can't serve alcohol.
They do not serve alcohol.
Yeah,
that
you
is
can't
right.
have both.
But as an 18-year-old, we would drive the 2 hours to Louisville, and we would have ourselves a night.
I bet you would. Raul Rosas Jr., he was 17 when he signed with the UFC. His parents famously had to sign a permission slip to allow him to fist fight for a living. He is 18 now. He is a grown man, and he is in charge of his own life. He's a nonstop grappler. He has 8 takedowns in 3 fights, 19 minutes of control time, and 2 of those fights didn't go the distance. His striking definitely needs a little bit of work, but he's going to come in reckless. He's going to throw. He said, what he thinks is power. He's still, 18 years old.
Great striker.
He's a
I preached on that last time. Guy's a great striker.
You did preach on that last time. He can definitely put himself into harm's way for no reason, but he is fast. He's athletic. He sets a relentless pace. He's coming off that loss, and it just reminded us that he's so young. Because what happened at that loss, he came out, he got the grappling going, won that first round, was chasing a little too much for a finish. Second round came exhausted, was hanging on too long to submissions, was going at 100% effort for things that he shouldn't have been doing. And it really just, it at the end of the day, it just came down to lack of experience, and that for both in the cage and life. And that's all it was, because he gassed himself out doing nothing. The analogy, a little bit of a sidebar here. If you remember when Conor...
The lawyer talk, there's that cop talk.
No, that's just corporate speak. When Conor McGregor fought Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Conor started to get tired over time, the announcers were talking about it. They're like, the difference is, I'm sure Conor is in phenomenal shape, and I'm sure he has trained all the rounds. The difference is the more you fight, the more you learn when you can relax, where your spot is to relax. Conor's not relaxing anywhere. Everything he's doing is 100%. There's no relaxing. That's how Raul Rosas was.
Wow, you just compared Conor McGregor and Raul Rosas.
The lack of experience that resulted in gassing because he tried too hard and didn't ever take the foot off the gas.
You said that Rosas is a better striker than Conor McGregor. Light him up in the comments. That's what people do. I put a tweet out today comparing Usman and Shevchenko, just the way that their careers have gone lately. And somebody was like, are you actually comparing Usman to women's MMA? No, I wasn't. But thank you for asking. No, what the fuck?
Internet people aren't the brightest for the most part. Daniel, talking to you. So anyway, Raul Rosas, aggressive grappler, lost that fight. It really just came down to he was probably the better fighter in that matchup. It just came down to lack of experience and knowing when to not go 100% effort. Taking on Terrence Mitchell. Terrence Mitchell's a long, lean, also a grappler. He doesn't have the best takedowns, but he is very dangerous on the ground. Unfortunately for him, I mentioned this last time we broke him down, his most popular video when you're going to break down tape is cocky fighter gets knocked out in 30 seconds. And that's, he was on The Ultimate Fighter. He was a complete asshole to Kai Kara-France. And then Kai Kara-France knocked his ass out. If you remove that and you look at his career, his body of work, first of all, 14-3 is a very solid record. Second of all, he's a pretty good fighter. He doesn't suck on the feet. He's fast. He does a great job just throwing up kicks out of nowhere with no notice. He can knock you out. He can submit you on the ground, but he can also be taken down and outworked. For that reason, I got to go with Raul Rosas. He's definitely going to be the pick. He's probably safe to parlay, but this minus 750, there's better value on this card. That money is gone. He has proven to make poor fight IQ decisions, and not for any fault other than he's ridiculously young and he's still learning. So I'm not going to parlay him. The opportunity, him and Roman earlier, maybe made some sense, but minus 750 is just a lot. And I think there's other money here at a better discount. But you can go to Bet Openly. You get him at minus 525. Much better odds there, but you got to hope somebody grabs the other side, which they might, because paying out at plus 525 is also decent. So anyway, Rosas is the pick. A little too young to trust him at these odds. I was hoping we'd get a discount on his bounce back, but I guess not. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, minus 800 now on the odds for Raul Rosas.
It's wild that so people really trust him more than Roman Kopylov.
That's what they're saying. Trust him a lot more too.
Yeah,
a lot more.
Yeah.
Lupi's finally minus 450, which is probably where she should be, honestly, in that type of fight. But yeah, Raul Rosas minus 800. I have no doubt that he probably should win this fight. It should be a grappling affair, and we've seen Terrence Mitchell. He's a decent grappler. But with his striking, with his grappling, he gets a little bit too aggressive. When you get too aggressive, especially against a guy like Raul, that's where you make mistakes. The reason Raul won his last fight was because that guy did not get aggressive. He just kind of stayed the course. He's very even-keeled, very methodical in everything he does on the ground. Didn't make mistakes, was wearing down Rosas by staying alive and then wearing him down with his own offensive grappling. And Terrence Mitchell is not a guy that extends fights, right? Luckily for Raul, he is also kind of a first round or bust guy at this point in his career. So Raul in this matchup should be able to get the takedowns, should be able to get the control, find that submission, maybe even find, I know the submission might be like minus money, the TKO. We could get a situation where it's just a body lock. He wants the TKO in front of the home fans, pop, 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 that type of thing. So TKO might be excuse me?
They're in Vegas.
Well, if you don't think this place can be packed full of Mexican fans, you got another thing coming, Angelo. So it's going to be packed. They're going to be rooting for him. So we could see a TKO. That could be a little bit of sneaky value there because I trying to pull it. I forgot that I was about to pull it up. I actually forgot what I was doing. But that would be probably the way to play something like that. But, Terrence Mitchell is, you see the 14-3. You see, he just got holes in his grappling game, and that's what Raul does best. So Raul by first round KO TKO is plus 550. I think it might be worth the sprinkle.
Maybe. I doubt it. He doesn't throw hands at all on the ground. At all. Not even a little bit.
Well, he does.
He just grapples. He does? I can pull up the stats. Tough guy.
Ahead.
All right. Fucking Muppet.
Here we go.
Dumb bastard.
I'll pull them up too because I know how you like to interpret stats.
Okay. Let's see. Raul Rosas Jr.
Look at that contender series fight.
20 contender series fight.
20
strikes. How many strikes did he land in his last fight, which went a full 15 minutes? I'll wait.
I'm looking it up. My internet's getting a little bit laggy here. Hold on a second.
So for anybody
hold on
wondering,
a second.
The answer is
hold
2.
on a second. I'm looking it up.
He had 3 takedowns, 5 minutes of control time, and landed 2 strikes.
He's like the anti-Chimaev. Like Chimaev against him, like nobody landed a strike for like 3 fights, and then he's only landed. Jesus. We need to get him in touch with Ryan Hall, huh?
3-round decision. Jesus Christ. Anyway, 90.
So plus 550 on the TKO. You might want to. Submission is plus 100. You might want to just play the plus 100.
96. Daniel's officially hidden from this channel, by the way, in case you didn't know. So he's gone forever. Sorry, bud.
I don't see what you got upset about.
He was just shitting on some random stuff, and he crossed the line, so he's gone. That's what happens. He is now in the abyss, commenting to nobody. $9,600 in DraftKings for Raul Rosas Jr. Probably worth it, honestly, because with the takedowns, with the control time, I got to look at how well he scores because 2 strikes is going to do it. But if he's getting 3-4 takedowns, a ton of control time, the eventual submission, he could cover that. $9,600 is a lot of money, so I have to look at it, see how he scored previously. But certainly DraftKings appreciates grappling, and this is the guy that's going to do it for sure. What do you think about DraftKings, Jakey boy?
It should be pretty good.
All right. WeWantPicks.com. Become a member. You can unlock all of the tools, the insight, the information, the breakdowns, the analysis, anything that you have ever needed to have some fun and make some money watching these fights. WeWantPicks.com. Just click Become a Member. Next up, at Noche UFC, we have an incredible co-main event. This, frankly, could have been the main event of this card or another fight night.
Disrespectful to our female fighters.
No, a title fight should always be the main event. I'm just saying this is a great fight that could have headlined its own card. We got Kevin Holland, 25-9 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off back-to-back finish wins, taking on Jack Maddalena, 15-2 overall, 5-0 in his last 5. He is riding a 15-fight win streak. Kevin Holland is an accurate and powerful striker. This guy has a very slightly improved takedown defense. I know, improved. See, that's what people call a lisp, but it's not a lisp. I just say whatever.
Improved.
Yeah, the improved takedown defense, but very solid grappling if he is taken down. Other than the wrestling defense, Kevin is a problem for a lot of people. He's a sniper on his feet. He's got great accuracy, great range. He can also grapple really well. Again, can't control if the fight's standing or not, but once he's on the ground, he can grapple. He's long. He used that length really well, and the reality is Kevin Holland's good everywhere, again, except the wrestling exchanges. But he is coming off of that very, very lopsided win over Michael Chiesa, where he defended 5 takedown attempts and ended up getting this submission in less than half. No, basically in half a round. Taking on Jack Della Maddalena, high-volume striker. Incredible jab. He's going to plot forward on his toes. He's going to pump that jab. If you start throwing back at him, he'll reset. He'll start that cycle over, get out of harm's way. If you look at his nose, you wouldn't think he's getting out of harm's way very often, but he is. And he's a very, very clean striker.
Somebody
with solid
said
power.
today in the Discord that I look like Jack Della Maddalena on heroin.
They just say you look like every other ginger is what's happening. Y'all look alike is what is happening to you.
I just
And
didn't
I'm sorry
appreciate
for
it.
that. Yeah, no, I'm sorry for that. Anyway, great striker. Typically had some decent takedown defense. He did defend 17 takedowns in his last fight, but didn't look great in that fight. He was taken down 3 times, and that's 3 more times than he's ever been taken down in any other fight. This is a great fight, though. And we're really going to find out how good Jack Maddalena is or is not. This is definitely his biggest test. And I'm trying not to have some recency bias here, because if I did have recency bias, well, Kevin Holland looked spectacular in his last fight. Jack Maddalena looked like trash in his last fight. So, okay, this is going to be Kevin Holland. So I'm trying to remove just their last fight from the equation and look at it a little more holistically. But I still like Kevin Holland. We have a guy who fought the best of the middleweight division. He didn't win all those fights, but he fought the best of the middleweight division, has come down to welterweight. He hasn't lost yet. Chimaev beat him. That wasn't at welterweight. So he hasn't lost yet. He's looked better and better.
Beating the who's who of 170s.
He's beaten some name 170s. Who has he beaten? Okay, who has Jack Maddalena beaten that is better than Kevin Holland's beaten?
Randy Brown is better than Ponzinibbio and Michael Chiesa. They both fought Randy Brown at the exact same time. Randy Brown is a long-range striker.
Okay, and how did that go?
Basil would smoke both of those as well. The guy he just fought, Basil, would smoke Kevin Holland.
No. Now you're just this would that could. No. You're
asking my opinion. Basil is a much better fighter than Ponzinibbio.
I didn't ask your opinion. I asked for a fact.
That is a fact.
You were making fun of.
I said Randy Brown. You said give me one name. I gave you Randy Brown's better than both of them. Easily.
Randy Brown's not. I don't think.
Oh, I don't think so. So now it's your opinion, right?
Especially Marvin Vettori, Derek Brunson. Yes, he lost those people, but he fought them. Alex Oliveira, that guy's dangerous and talented. Tim Means, that's a dog. Ponzinibbio,
that's
Michael
a
Chiesa.
dog. Tim Means, the dirty bird. Get out of here, buddy. Quit your yapping.
Okay. All right, well, anyway, I think Kevin Holland wins. I think he's got the better experience. I think he's got more ways to win, and I think he can win the striking exchanges. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Kevin Holland here and not Jack Della Maddalena, who struggled against a short-notice guy.
Yeah, Basil is not a normal short-notice guy, and I will stand by. Basil would absolutely smoke Kevin Holland with those takedowns. Kevin Holland cannot defend a takedown. Kevin Holland, how many times he's been taken down in his UFC career?
Yeah, probably 80. I shit on his wrestling.
43 fucking times. Basil would come in it and smoke. And what did Jack Della Maddalena do in that fight? Made a lot of mistakes.
Lost the striking. He made a lot exchanges too. Basil touched him up on the feet a few times.
He landed a couple shots. He was not losing striking exchanges.
He landed.
He is not losing striking exchanges to Basil, but he came in, he made a few mistakes, he was pulling guillotines, he was ending up on his back, but he also defended like 16, 17 takedowns. So what I brought out of that fight is, yeah, Jack Della Maddalena, I'm going to struggle the entire time. Jack Della Maddalena, I think I added an extra D in there. That's not the first time I'll throw a big old D or something, you know what I mean? But Jack Della Maddalena was, in my mind, showed off his toughness. That was a tough fight. A short-nosed guy he had no time to prepare for. A very good wrestler. Gaethje talks about that. He's had wars with this guy. He's a very, very high-level wrestler. A strong dude. Came down, defended the takedowns, out-scrambled him when he was in bad positions, and then absolutely started lighting the guy up in the third round of that fight, which is impressive because Jack has coming off all these first-round finishes. You didn't know what was going to happen at the UFC level. Getting into the second round, into the third round, when both guys are tired, and Jack turned up the heat, he turned up the volume. He is the better striker in this matchup. He just is. Kevin Holland is a long, rangy guy. He's always going to be live for power. He's always going to be live for a weird submission on the ground because he's wiry. He's especially long at 170. I love Kevin Holland. You've listened to me talking time and time again. I love Kevin Holland. I like the way he fights, but he is here not to win fights. He is here to be fun, to have fun, to make money, to get those checks, to get paid. Jack Della Maddalena it's just different in here with Jack, and what he does best, which he's going to excel in this fight, is he gets in your face. He cuts off all that range. Kevin Holland against the fence. How many times have we seen Kevin Holland against the fence and he does the Philly shell thing, right? He's just slipping, head movement. Jack is so good when he gets you against the fence to work body, to work head. With those combinations, he is going to beat Kevin Holland up. I don't know if he's going to finish him because I respect Kevin Holland's chin and his toughness, but I think he's going to beat him up for 3 rounds. I knew leaving that Basil fight that we are going to get crazy value on whoever Jack fought next because people will be like, oh my God, he looked terrible. He's the better boxer in this matchup. It's going to be a boxing matchup. This is going to end up being the best value on the card. It's already moving. I got it minus 125, minus 130. It's already up over minus 150. If he never fought Basil and he came into this fight after those first round finishes, he'd be minus 200 versus Kevin Holland. I think he smokes him.
I completely disagree. Without question, I completely disagree. If Jack won, it's not the most shocking thing in the world. I do not have a bet on Kevin Holland because this is a low confidence pick for me because this is a very tough fight, and we are going to find out how good Kevin Holland is or is not. But I just think his fighting high level guy, Wonder Boy, with a broken hand. That's a high level fight.
Wonder Boy was fucking his ass up too. That was a beating.
After the hand broke, not before.
But it's still a beating.
After the hand broke with one arm.
Still
yes, not before. It wasn't before. Well. So, and listen, I'm actually not a huge Kevin Holland guy, but I
love Kevin Holland.
You know me, I'm very favor wrestlers quite heavily. So when this dude was just getting taken down nonstop,
a lot of people. Well, talk about Jack. Defended 17 takedowns. He wouldn't get tight. The only reason he was taken down.
I'm talking about Kevin Holland.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Well, that's what's crazy. Some people are like, all's Kevin, and we're going to hear this again for this next fight. All Kevin Holland has to do is wrestle. There's some people that say that Kevin Holland's going to come in and get takedowns and going to control the wrestling of Jack Della Maddalena. Jack Della Maddalena took himself down time and time again, defending the rest of them, and Kevin Holland's not a wrestler.
Yeah, no, listen.
And he would get smoked by Basil. I'll say it again.
Yeah, I'm not factoring the wrestling into this at all. Because even he beat Ramazan Ameev, who's supposed to be a decent wrestler. At the end of the day, I just think that Kevin Holland has fought the higher level guys. I think he's got the better range management. And he definitely has more power. I think Jack's got the much better.
We can bet on this one. Bet openly.
Let's do it on Bet Openly. Yeah, 100%.
I got a lot of money in there now because I won a big one with Cheppy. Remember we did Cheppy too, so
do $100.
You might have to hit the deposit a little bit.
Do
the what?
100. I'll do
100.
it. I'll do it. I'll do it and send it to you.
Why? I got it right here.
Because last time, you're going to lay out 152, and then I think I have to spend 152, which I don't want to.
No, I have the favorite. It's going to be different this time. I'm going to spend the 133 and you're going to spend the 100.
Oh yeah, 133.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. That is great value on both sides. It's incredible. It's incredible how that works. All right, we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to it.
It's 138 on here. So it's even
It already changed. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I genuinely think Kevin Holland can win this fight. This is going to be a great co-main event, a legitimate co-main event. WeWantPicks.com, become a premium. Oh, DraftKings, I don't know. Do you think Jack Della Maddalena wins by finish?
Nope. I respect the toughness. I have a bet
Yeah.
specifically for that, but I definitely respect the toughness. And if he comes in and lands that sniper shot and hurts him and finishes, I'm not gonna be that. He definitely has that ability. It's just the way that Jack fights. It's just not good for a guy like Kevin Holland, in my opinion.
Yeah, we'll find out. I'm looking forward to this fight very, very much. I'll bet
It'll
you.
be a fun one, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to bet a sports book, but I will bet you here with Bet Openly. DraftKings, probably not, because I don't think Kevin's going to win by finish either. I think this is a decision that's just going to be determined by who's landing the cleaner shots. And if Jack's just pumping that jab out there, that obviously could look well for Kevin. But Kevin has shown us how tough he is. Even in that stoppage to Wonder Boy, that was very late in the fight, and he literally had a broken hand. Like his hand was shattered early. So he's no slouch. So WeWantPicks.com, click become a member. It is only $10 a month, and you're going to unlock everything you have ever needed to. All right, so
you have to spend $99.
Okay, it's $89.93.
Should be $99.93.
I clicked max bet. And let me do
because of the 1%. It should be 99.
100. All right, place the bet. The bet has been taken. I just did max. All right, it's done. Took it. Anyway, WeOnPicks.com, click become a member. If you want to know what the heck we're doing right now, it's Bet Openly. Bet Openly, it's not a sports book. It's peer-to-peer betting. So Jacob put up a bet. I took the other side. It could have been you. It's all public. So I took the other side. If I win, I take his actual money. If he wins, he takes my actual money. I have not lost to any of you yet. Eventually I will. I still have to go buy a sandwich with that one guy's $10 and show him what's up. But
show him what's up, bruh.
Yeah, this is your salad sandwich, dog. Except I bought it.
What's bro yapping about?
Who?
You.
What? Okay. Next up, at Noche UFC, we have the rare title fight on a fight night main event of the evening. We have Alexa Grasso defending her belt in the rematch to Valentina Shevchenko. Alexa Grasso, 16-3 overall, 5-0 in her last 5. She's coming off that title win at UFC 285. Valentina Shevchenko, 23-4 overall, 5-0 in her last 5, and she's coming off her first loss in 5 years. As I mentioned, as you all know, this is a rematch. It was the biggest upset of the year. Everybody's talking about Izzy's loss is a huge upset. That is a huge upset, but this is quite literally a much larger upset. Some books closed Valentina as a minus 12. Stop moving that thing around so loud.
Don't use that attitude with me. Not right now.
What are you going to do? A minus 1,200 favorite, and she still lost this fight. And it did look like she was going to win. It looked like she was probably going to cash a lot of those tickets, but then she was submitted in that fourth round. No, I just finished saying that she lost. Alexa Grasso.
No, but did it look like she was going to win is the question.
Literally did. Go check the scorecards. 2-1 in the fourth.
And she was losing the fourth, so it was going to be 2-2 going into fifth.
Alexa Grasso is a fun striker. She's got impressive volume, decent takedown defense at 61%, and she likes to stay busy. She lands more than 5 significant strikes per minute. She moves really, really well. She has absolutely no problem slugging it out inside the pocket, and while she does have some power, it's not fight-ending one-punch knockout power. She's 5-0 at 125 pounds after moving up from 115 pounds, and she is defending her belt for the first time, taking on the person she just took it from, Valentina Shevchenko. She's one of the best fighters on the planet, regardless of division or gender. She won the belt in 2018. She defended it 7 times before losing it earlier this year. She's a very good striker, very good grappler. She's got that championship composure and mindset. Her striking is some of the best in this division. She's very technical. She's got enough power combined with technique that she can put some people away. The last few years, we have seen her game evolve. She's worked in a whole bunch of takedowns, lots of judo trips. She's got 25 takedowns in her last 6 fights, including 4 against Alexa Grasso. My instant gut reaction was Valentina's going to win this fight, right? Like, she should have won the first one. She arguably was going to win the first one, and that was my gut reaction. And this also could feel very much like, remember when Amanda Nunes lost her bet to Juliana Pena?
Lost her bet. She was betting. Oh, my God.
Lost her fight to Juliana Pena, and she was a massive favorite, lost that fight. She came back. She was still a favorite, but a small favorite. Something like this, the minus 160, something to that effect. And people were like, oh, I don't know. And it ended up being the greatest value we ever saw. This could be the same. Valentina went out there, was surprised by the striking. Alexa was winning those striking exchanges. And she was surprised by that, but in true champion mentality, she adjusted on the fly, came out second round, wrestled 1, came out third round, wrestled 1, came out fourth round, wrestled, was winning, got stood up, did some stupid bullshit, got her back taken, and got choked out. She could come back looking like a completely different person, ready to go, ready to wrestle a hard 5 rounds, ready to stay in her face, strike, do all the things, prepared. For all we know, she didn't take Alexa seriously. She was small, 115 pounds. Like, we don't know. But also, if I zoom out, well, Tyler Santos beat Valentina Shevchenko. Tyler Santos beat Valentina Shevchenko. Didn't get the nod on the scorecards, but Tyler Santos beat her. And it feels, you used the analogy before, like the Usman thing. It does feel something like that, where was champion of the world.
You want me to do it? I'll do it right now because I got it right in front of me.
Okay. Well, hold on.
Because this is we were talking about Usman, and then you can go to your pick. So Usman, and I think everyone agrees, looked basically unbeatable. He basically looked unbeatable during his title range. Even that first Colby fight knocks him out, even though it was kind of a close going up to that fight. Then he does have a close fight with Colby, right? It was a rematch, but he has a close fight with Colby, right? So he wins that fight. Then he's going in against Leon. He fights Leon. He controls basically the entire fight. He's dominating that fight. He gets knocked out in the 5th round, and everyone is saying, oh my God, it's a fluke. It's a fluke. He's going to win the rematch. He's going to win the rematch. He's going to dominate the rematch. That's not what happened. Usman was 35 years old going into the rematch. Shevchenko, I believe we both agree she has looked unbelievably dominant in her title reign. I mean, I've been saying it on this podcast over and over that she is the best overall fighter, man or woman, on the roster. Looked absolutely dominant. Then had a close fight with Talia, right? Had a close fight. Some people thought she lost that. I think she probably did lose that, but she had a close fight with Talia, right? And then she fights Grasso. Looks like she's controlling that fight. I disagree a little bit, but definitely was controlling wrestling in that fight. And people are going to say it was a fluke. The 4th round, a fluke. Like, oh, she was spinning. She got her back. She choked her out. She's going to dominate the next fight, the rematch, with her wrestling. Again, Shevchenko, 35 years old, going into this rematch. So that's kind of the comparison you were making there with Usman and Chevy.
Well, it was your comparison. I was just going back to it because I think it is a good. It could feel like Valentina is still my pick. I think this looks more like Amanda Nunes and Juliana Pena than it does Usman and Edwards. I think Valentina we watched her make adjustments in that fight. We just watched Izzy not make an adjustment when he didn't make a single adjustment. He went out there, he was losing all the striking, didn't change a single thing in that fight against Sean Strickland. Nothing. Valentina,
the first round, my jab isn't working. His coach oh fuck. And then he just kept trying to jab for 5 more rounds.
Made literally 0 adjustments in that fight. Valentina, on the other hand, lost the striking in the first round, sat down, regrouped, and literally came out with a completely different game plan the next round. I think that championship caliber, she's going to be the much bigger fighter. She was the first time, and now she's prepared. I think she was caught off guard. I think it's the Amanda Nunes thing. Honestly, frankly, she wasn't a human being for so long. She was so good. Never had a tough fight. And yes, obviously, Tyler Santos gave her a little go. But I think she was probably a little underprepared. And she is a very active champion. That could have caught up to her as well. I do think Valentina wins. But after this long rant, Yes, minus 165 is probably the best. It literally is the best value you're going to get on her. You have to go all the way back to when she fought Amanda Nunes to get that. I think she's going to come out wrestle heavy. I think she's going to win this fight. I'm not putting my money on it for all I forget what the stat was. They were obsessed with the stat when Izzy and Usman were trying to get their fight back. But it was like champs who lose their belt and get immediate rematches win like never.
It's like 20% of the time or something.
It's something ridiculously low. So I still am picking Valentina. No bet. If the line continues to shrink, then honestly, at a certain point, I still think she's great value now, let alone if it shrinks. But I was just burned by Izzy, and maybe I've got a little chafing still. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, comparing, first of all, don't compare Alexa Grasso and Juliana Pena because Juliana is nothing compared to Alexa Grasso. She was completely smoked in the first round of that fight. One of the reasons why Nunes lost that fight was because she was so dominant in the first round, and Juliana Pena is tough. So her toughness got her to the second round. Then Nunes Pena basically just Homer Simpsoned her way to the championship belt. Alexa Grasso came in the first round and pretty much dominated the first round of this fight. So that comparison is a little bit different. But I do want to give you credit because Valentina, and to her credit as well, did make those adjustments. Absolutely she did. She came into that fight she wasn't going to wrestle in that fight. She wasn't going to wrestle at all. She had quotes going into that fight saying, listen, if Alexa Grasso wants to box, I'll box her, and I feel confident in my boxing. That lasted about 2.5 minutes before she realized, holy shit, this little Alexa Grasso girl is a better boxer than me. I don't know if overall striker, but definitely a better boxer than me. So you saw Valentina start going to the spinning stuff a little bit early. Made the adjustment. Came in the second round and said, you know what? I'm going to do what I do. That take girls down. That's getting that side control position. Get them in those crucifix positions. Wear them down with elbows. Beat them up. And that's how I am going to win this fight. So she came in, second round, got the takedown, got that side control, almost got Alexa in that crucifix position. But turns out, Alexa Grasso was a little bit better on the ground than Valentina expected. She got back to her feet, and when she got back to her feet, she was immediately in Valentina's face. Got taken down again. It is what it is. So now, first round striking's not working. Second round, the aggressive grappling is not working, and she realizes she is getting tired because she's not a wrestler. That's one thing we need to understand. And Angela, I think you will agree. She's not a wrestler. She is not a wrestler. She can wrestle. She does have takedowns. This is a Muay Thai kickboxer that can take people down. She's not a wrestler. So when she started wrestling, she started getting very tired in the third round. More takedowns. This time she's in full guard and doing absolutely nothing. Alexa Grasso is making her work in every single position. She's trying to stay safe, win the fight with control, enough so that Jason Herzog has to stand them up. She's doing nothing. So now, first round, the striking is not working. Second round, the aggressive grappling is not working. Third round, she's getting tired and she's just trying to hold, and that's not working because she's stalling too much. So the fourth round, she comes out with terrible takedown attempts. I'm talking terrible. And by the way, the adjustments that Valentina made, Grasso was also making adjustments. She was lowering her stance. She was getting more aggressive, ready to defend the takedowns. And once she was ready to defend the takedowns, she was defending them much easily. I think she has 2 takedown defenses in the fight. But there was probably 3 or 4 from Valentina that were half-assed that don't really count as takedown attempts. And she was defending those just fine. So, if she comes into this fight knowing, okay, now she might wrestle. She's been with Lupi. We mentioned Lupi. Lupi's a better overall wrestler than Valentina. I assume that she's getting her ready for all these takedown attempts. And if Valentina can't get the takedowns, which I don't think she can get the takedowns, she's in real fucking trouble. Alexa Grasso is not dangerous on the feet, but she can just methodically just work out the boxing and wear Valentina down over 5 rounds. And I think she can win 4 of them. I like Alexa Grasso in this matchup. She's going to be the better striker in what should be a mostly striking matchup. And if I'm Valentina, or if I'm Alexa rather, and tell me if you agree or disagree with this, if my game plan is, the worst case scenario here for me with Alexa Grasso, my pick, who I'm going to pick to win this fight, is she's so worried about the takedowns that she's just waiting, and she's waiting, and she's waiting. And Valentina is going to win that fight because she can point fight in between those takedown attempts. If I'm Alexa Grasso, first round, first minute, I'm going to shoot a takedown. Okay, you want to wrestle? Alexa Grasso's a good wrestler. She's a good grappler. She can get takedowns. She took Valentina down in the first round at the very end. Didn't count as one, but she picked her up, took her down the ass. Even if I can't get the takedowns, let's make her work. Let's get that out. So when Valentina is shooting the takedowns later, they aren't very crisp takedowns. We saw that she gets tired when she shoots takedowns. If I'm Alexa, I come in and say, okay, let's wrestle. Let's grapple. I'm offensive wrestling for the entire round, and then I'm using my striking rounds 2 for 5. I think she can defend these takedowns. All I heard for the Usman. Because I was all over Leon in the first fight, all over him in the second fight. Everyone's like, oh, Leon's, all Usman's got to do is get the takedowns. He just got to he's going to win the fight. He was the champion. It was a lucky thing. Just get the takedowns. That's all I keep hearing. Valentina, all she's got to do is takedowns. It's way harder than people make it out to be. So,
especially if
I'm
if
Alexa Grasso all the way, baby.
Especially if they know that's what's coming. But to your point, I mean, listen, like I said, I'm not going to bet on the fight because who knows, man? And it's probably because of the Izzy thing. If Izzy won, I wouldn't have I probably wouldn't be so gun shy in this fight. But I think Valentina, she made the adjustments mid-fight. She'll make the adjustments in fight camp. Might have been the reality check she needed. Like, oh, okay, there are some.
But I don't think she's that type of girl. And I don't think Nunes really didn't take Juliana serious. I think she just got tired, and that's what happens. I don't think Valentina's the type that would take a fight off.
I don't even know
not
if you
taking
do it.
somebody serious. You know what I mean?
I don't think they do it consciously. I just think it's literally.
But I don't think she seems like. She seems pretty fucking locked in at all times.
Effort,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, could be.
And the other thing that people mention too that's starting to creep up is her resume. That when you start looking back at who Chevy has been beating, it's not Talia Santos, we agree. I think we both think that Talia won that fight, so she lost to Talia. Then she's beaten Lauren Murphy. We agree Lauren Murphy is like, how she even, I still have no idea how Lauren Murphy ended up with a title shot. Then he backtracked to Jessica Andrade. At the time, Jessica Andrade's like, okay, she beat Andrade, but now we know Andrade is fucking terrible. Jennifer Maia, durable. Right, but not overly talented. Caitlin Chukagian before that. Liz Caramucci before that. Jessica I before that. And obviously she won the belt versus Joanna. But, I mean, her resume, too, is like, yeah, you know.
I mean, she can only beat who they give her. And it's not like Alexa's got this long list of killers.
Well, she beat Macy Barber, who beat fucking one of the best fighters I've ever seen. One of the best female fighters of all time. Macy Barber knocked out in the second round, and Alexa Grasso came in and smoked her. And Alexa defended 8 takedowns versus Vivi 2 fights ago. She fought Carla Esparza. She lost that fight, but she defended I think 6 or 7 takedowns of Carla Esparza takedown. This whole narrative, she didn't know how to defend a takedown. It's very weird. Yeah, she was taken down, but she can defend. And she knows what she's doing on the ground too.
Yeah, listen, I'm picking Shevchenko, but it's a medium to low confidence pick here. So I'm just going to watch the main event, enjoy the main event. I would love if I am all about at this point, burn it down. Let's move these divisions on. Let's just move.
It's been fun, huh? All these young people winning all this stuff.
Yeah, let's just move it on. Is he losing? I don't want to rematch. Don't rematch that. He looked horrible. Why do you want him as? I get it. They want to do the DDP fight. Let him sit out. Let DDP fight Sean Strickland. If DDP loses, you can still do DDP and Izzy. It won't be as big, but you can still do it.
Well, then
if
people
DDP wins,
DDP's going to get leapfrogged by Chimaev and Costa winner.
But if DDP wins, then you can throw Izzy back in there. The dude, to his credit, fought a ton, and we appreciate that. Thank you as a fan. But
I can't wait to see.
Dude, awful.
What we're going to have here is Alexa is for sure going to win this fight, and then we're going to have the Ribas Express and her to fight in November versus Luana Pinheiro. She's going to smoke her, and then we're going to get the title shot that we've all been waiting for, Alexa Grasso versus Amanda Ribas. Yeah,
there you go. But anyway, I guess my point is I am ready for a lot of these long-time champs to move on. Let's have some newer, exciting fights. Like Aljo lost. Great. Now we got God knows what with Sean O'Malley. Izzy lost. Who knows what we're going to get with Sean Strickland? Valentina lost. We can get some interesting fights with Alexa Grasso. I'm all for it. Let's move on. Let's have some new, interesting fights and some new dominant champions. But anyway, $7,700 in DraftKings. If Alexa wins, it's just going to be well worth that money. $8,500 in DraftKings. I think Valentina. You might want to double this one up, frankly. If you think Valentina gets the wrestling going at any point, it's 5 rounds to work with here. $8,500 is a massive discount.
And she did her camp too. I know she's there a lot. But she did that Tiger Muay Thai, and that's not a real wrestle heavy. And obviously they do wrestle. I'm not saying they don't wrestle.
And she may not be. And I didn't even say she has to wrestle to win. I do think she will, but she may not.
I fully believe that she is thinking just like Usman. There's nothing wrong with thinking. Usman, there was nothing wrong with people thinking that Usman should be able to get the takedowns again because he controlled that fight. And Valentina got those takedowns pretty easily. So in Usman's mind, I agree. He was probably like, oh, I'll just get the takedowns and I'll win. it didn't work, and he was in a fucking fucked up situation. Valentina, I fully believe that she believes I'll get the takedowns. I can get the takedowns, and I'm going to get the takedowns and win. But when she didn't get those takedowns, it's not like Alexa was like completely dominating the striking, but she was controlling the range and the combinations pretty well. And in front of those fans, too, it's going to be hard for Valentina to win a close. That's serious, though. Yeah, it's gonna be hard for her to win a close decision in that arena on that night. So if rounds are close and it's mostly striking, Alexa looks clean. They're gonna be crazy every time she lands on Valentina. So I mean, she's got that going for her as well.
Well, and the UFC just made a custom Mexico belt for Alexa Grasso too.
Right.
Valentina, long time, she never got a custom belt. So anyway. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member. It is only $10 a month, and the amount of things that you get for that $10 is absolutely nuts. And
we just got $10.
I'm about to get to it. Oh, even if we take the optimizer out of it, the bets out of it, the DraftKings breakdowns out of it, the ownership projections out of it, the FanDuel breakdowns out of it, even if we take all that stuff out of premium, it's $10 a month. It's just a great way to support us. Go to WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member. We do have a $10 super chat. 1 month of premium from Smoke Show saying, do y'all think Izzy threw that fight? I do not think Izzy threw that fight.
Somebody made a good point in the Discord, and I think somebody put in the chat as well. There's a good likelihood that Izzy was just fucking concussed. And I don't know if you've ever been concussed before, but a lot of times when you're concussed, it's just like a fog. Like you can't, it's just like, you're just like in a foggy. So if he got almost knocked out and he was concussed, that would make sense for him to be in the fight, but he looks slow and he doesn't really know what's going on. You know, he probably just concussed. He was just a little foggy.
I think it was a combination of things. I think that could be. I didn't even think of that. I think he was probably underprepared for that fight. I think he like the rest of the world. Be easy. Yeah, him, like the rest of the world, thought this fight was going to be a joke. So I think he was underprepared for that fight. And then when he was actually there and Sean Strickland is just in his freaking face, not just 6 inches from him, that whole fight, I think it just started to wear on him. And then after, obviously, he got caught, I just think he had a bad night. And this sport, more so than any other sport on the planet, you can't really have a bad night. You lose your whole life. It's crazy. One bad night, you lose your whole life. It's wild.
Well, this should be anyway. He's fought, so that's the good thing about being active is he's cashed a lot of fucking checks, a lot of champ checks. You know, holy shit. That's why it's crazy. It's like obviously there's risk and reward for being active, right? Because if you lose, then you don't get those checks anymore. But when you're on and you're as active as him, I mean, he's cashed it in, man. Good for him.
No, yeah, he's probably made an absolute fortune. He will get more fights. He's not done. He's not retired. He
was a fucking clown for that post-fight press conference thing, just showing up, making a statement, not answering questions, because I don't think we gave I know you talked about it too, but I don't think we gave Aljo enough credit for how he handled that loss. As a man, stepped up, answered the questions, could have been crying for early stoppage, all this stuff, and he still mentions it from time to time as like a joking thing, you know, but he handled that like a fucking man, and Izzy was a fucking bitch about it.
Usman handled it like a man. Everybody who lost their belt. Right. Valentina handled it like an adult. And then, Izzy's just a whiny little bitch. He's always been an entitled little bitch, though. And I say that like he obviously would kick my ass. So I don't mean bitch like
the most surprising part was him acting like a bitch in the fight, because we've seen him. It's not like he's never been to war before. We've seen him against Gastelum bite down and say I'm really willing to die, and you just never saw him flip that switch, you know.
No, well, it's funny. I saw. I'm sure everybody's seen it at this point. It was on Twitter. It was a meme, and it was not a meme. It wasn't funny. It was Sean champion. You're about to lose your belt. This guy has his hands down, defenseless, yelling at you.
Izzy smiled at him.
You just continue to back up.
He literally started like smiling and laughing, like, "Oh fuck," like, "Oh shit." That's what Izzy did. If you watch it back, he literally was like, oh shit, like, oh, fucked up.
But it was like reading that was interesting, because it's like, how did you not just like swing wide? Just try. Try. So anyway, that's that fight. Guys, become a premium member, but before you do or after you do, go to WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up with any one of our betting partners, make a deposit, and I'll send you $50 as a thank you. That's WeWantPicks.com/bets. You use the link, you make a deposit, I send you $50 as a thank you. It is affiliate marketing. You can then use that $50 to become a premium member. Premium membership has so much. I know like 80% of you are there for the bets. We've got 2,500, 2,600, something like that, premium members. I know most of you are there for the bets, and the bets have been doing well. Obviously, every single one wins, five win, one lose. Like, it depends which ones you look at. The reality is overall the bets are doing very, very well. But premium membership is far more than the bets. We also have courses. Literally, one of the number one questions we get week in and week out is, what are these DraftKings numbers? What's the salary? What does that $9,600 mean? Well, that course will walk you through exactly what it is, how it works, and what to do with that. You're also going to get tools like the line movement tracker. You're going to get opening odds, current odds, win probability for every single fight. You're going to get detailed data, metrics, and analytics to help you find your own spots. You're also going to get more than just me and Jakey Boy. We have Running Mouth MMA has joined the team. There's 3 of them giving you picks and bets on every single fight. You're also going to get Artem breaking down his picks, his bets for the UFC, for LFA, for Bellator, for Contender Series. You're going to get the Pick Doctor breaking down UFC fights with the AI. The AI is picking fights and giving you its confidence level in each one of those picks. WeWantPicks.com. It is only $10 a month. Just click become a member at the top.